Hello. Welcome back to our game with the Vagabonds. We are here. Our player Sky will be late, so hopefully whenever they get here, they will be able to jump in fairly quickly. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get started with the recap, unless anybody has anything they want to say or throw in or tell everyone about. I'm being blinded.
We're still waiting for Canada Dry.
Yes, that's true.
Call us, please.
We're here. Phone lines are open.
Send us a message with 24 words, specifically, please.
Yeah.
No more.
If it's more, we'll just lose out on the rest of it, so. Okay. Well, as usual, Canada Dry is still left our DMs dry, as Haley put once. So we are going to go ahead and get started with the recap. So, I think I want to change the music here, because we don't need to be in a forest for this recap, I don't think. I think we can just go with my favorite. Alright, so, last we left off, the party found themselves trapped in the secret prison of Nas Min, tucked away inside his mansion and under guard by the fearsome Fell sisters, when one of them suddenly dropped dead from a single word, and the other became stupefied. A moment later, you saw your sometimes friend Balthazar covered in blood and carnage from making his way through the city of Renovash, that had descended into chaos after the defeat of the champion. Balthazar freed you from your confinement and led you through the wealthy district to a hidden door encased in stone. Balthazar went to work opening the doorway while you skillfully redirected the incoming mobs, hell-bent on your destruction. For a time. Eventually, they figured out your clever ruses and started attacking you in spite of the wall of fire that Anira had erected around the doorway. After ushering you into the underground tunnel, Balthazar took the advancing mob as an opportunity to try out some of his new experimental magic. He called out the power word Alakablam, and one offender dropped dead, a massive hole in the back of his skull where his brains used to be. Stunned, the crowd paused their advances and Balthazar retreated with you into the tunnel, sealing the doorway behind him. You heard the mob going to work on opening the doorway with axes, picks, swords, and continued further down the tunnel. Several hours of walking in the arid, dusty tunnels later, you found yourselves at a fork, where Balthazar presented you with a choice. Venture left and set yourselves up to return to the familiarity and comfort of the Sword Coast, where for some of you this adventure began. Travel right and head back to the safety and security of Falderstep, where you have friends and stability. Or continue straight and once more place yourselves in the midst of the Tard Protectorate and into danger. You discussed and agreed to travel straight, receiving a message from an unfamiliar acquaintance asking for help in Haverstein. Balthazar left you with instructions on how to travel through the tunnels and return back to the city, promising you a warm welcome once he had wrested control and his help should you need it. You continued onward in the dark of the stone tunnels, all semblance of the passage of time fading. You walked until your weary legs and the emotion of the day caught up with you, and you took your rest, sleep being of no reprieve to the oppressive and endless darkness of the tunnels, but refreshing your weary bodies. You awoke and continued the journey, eventually finding yourselves as witnesses to the destructive power of nature, collapsing in a portion of the tunnel offshoot, and resolving to quickly exit the underground area. Pushing ahead, you finally caught a glimpse of real, honest daylight, and rushed forward, finding the path heavily overgrown with roots and vines. Anira took time to speak with the vines and secure passage, using, as the vines put it, her one favor, and the party hurried out into the blinding daylight sun. You tumbled down the short hill, basking in the sunlight and the warmth of the grasses around you, enjoying the space of the meadow. Taking in the environment, you realized you were actually exiting quite a distance off from where the tunnel had originally ended, and still needed to cross the Verstel River. You managed to make it across with only minimal embarrassment, and continued on after discussing your projected path. You arrived in Latchrier a few short hours later and enjoyed an evening of good food, drinks, and information gathering that let you know word was already spreading about your actions in Renovash, though you yourselves were not mentioned by name. The night passed in the industrious little city, and eventually you decided to get a few rooms and supplies for the journey ahead. After last call, you went upstairs together and decided to map out your future travels, settling on stopping off in Halistan and Norial, and wisely choosing to avoid the main roads into and around New Calamon. And that is where we left off. So, what would you all like to do this evening?
Is it still the nighttime?
It's still the nighttime, yes.
Okay.
It's the night before, yeah.
Okay.
If able, I'd definitely make some tea, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't know if that needs to be said, but I'll say it.
I'll put us on the map here so you all can see and kind of think about where you want to travel.
We actually have like reasonable food rations now.
Yeah.
No hate to the Zarias.
Hey now.
I appreciate, you know, that, but
So you've got the night ahead of you. If everyone's just hanging out, that's fine. It's no big deal.
There's something I'd like to do
Yeah,
after we've all gone to our separate rooms, but while
Okay.
we're still in the same room, we'll just hang
I've
out.
already told you guys about the drunks I was talking to earlier.
got a little bit of it. Also a bit
We heard you shout read
scattered.
this.
Made quite the scene, I think.
Well, they didn't know much, just a lot of I'll be brain out. Just a lot of like they really like the protectorate and everything, and it's done a lot for them. They're all pro Shepherd of Fire, big time. So just be careful around here. Also, they have heard of things that have happened in Renovash, so we might want to keep our connections to that pretty low. At the moment, it's just kind of rumors, but
They didn't recognize you though. Didn't mention any names.
no, I don't even know if I told them my name.
Might be smart not to.
Plus, they were pretty out of it. I wouldn't be surprised if they forgot about the whole thing.
But I do think that might be a good point. We don't blend in.
Right.
You know?
It's not very often you see two elves, a tiefling, and a cat and a dragon walking around together.
I mean, every time I look in the mirror, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. I just
I
don't have
still
an
think
answer,
that we
but-
should change our group name, or at least go by a temporary one while Balthazar is figuring things out.
No, I think Vagabonds is still good. We can just take off the viruses, and that's a name change enough.
put a different V name.
I was going to suggest Hellenian
Arrange-
Heroes, but... Ow!
I think, well, opposite of Vagabonds, right? So like Halibian's homebodies. You know,
That's
then we're
not bad.
definitely not the Vagabonds because we don't travel at all.
Yeah.
Very far.
We could
Far
be
removed.
Varus's vagrants.
That's a little close.
What's a vagrant?
It's like you don't stay where you should.
Oh.
I mean, anyone smart
Very
enough to be
hideaways.
trying to hunt down whatever we're trying to hide, I think might figure that one out. You know, stealth really isn't our thing, is it?
We could just say we're a group of people traveling and not
We're
mention the
just big
Vagabonds.
fans of the Vagabonds, you know. We what was that? Cosplaying them? No relation. Just
Well, but
dressing up.
then I can't introduce myself as Varus Elimian, and I think that might just hurt a little bit.
You know what else would be hurt? I think getting caught out, so.
Swords hurt.
Maybe I can go by Bert while we're undercover.
By what? Oh,
Bert.
go by the name Bert, not to go
Yeah.
by Bert.
No, I'm not going to go and purchase a Bert. What's a...
I don't
What?
know.
What is a bird?
I've no idea. Okay, Bert Halimian.
Maybe just Bert? Because...
Why do you even have a last name? It's really who. You're really the only one with a last name, anyways.
Because my family is important to me.
Well, that's fair.
Not that I'm saying anything about you all and your families or
Yes,
your
you are.
values or anything.
I think he's definitely saying we don't have
Yes,
any
I felt
values.
said.
That's definitely what I've heard.
Bert loves his family, just not the Halimians, because he's totally not related to them.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. I can
Great.
go by Bert for a while.
Bird's definitely not the Vagabonds.
Yes.
Lord, how did we get
We get
this
confused with them
far?
very often. We have to. We actually hate those guys.
Yeah.
Wow. Chop up my Vagabonds merch and wear like distressed, purposely vandalized Vagabonds t-shirt.
But we could just paint
Vagagon.
like a red circle and an X through it.
I could
Not
draw-
the Vagabonds.
Yeah. I could find one with myself and just draw a sword through my head. Kind
There
of
you
like
go.
this. You know? Like this.
I get the
Wait.
vision.
We've disguised ourselves as the Vagabonds, so the real Vagabonds will come to stop us, and then we'll
It's
kill
a
them.
trap. for the
That's actually
Vagabonds.
really
It's a
good.
trap.
I can get behind that.
I mean, point me to one time the actual Vagabonds have checked for a trap. Tell me. Never! We could get them easy.
Exactly.
We are very gullible.
That is true.
The gullible something. I don't know.
Or I could go by a G name.
We could all go by the name Angelo.
Ooh, remember.
We could remember that one, I
We
think.
could definitely do for remembering eventually.
I'll
I
just go
would.
by Varus with immune until it gets us in trouble, and then I'll go by Bert.
Hmm.
You all are sighing very loudly. Should I just go by Bert anyways, or what?
I just somehow have the suspicion that even if you went by Bert, you just.
I am me. There is no one else like me, so...
Kanan made a good point. We are a very unique group. If it's not just the name.
Yeah.
I mean, a tiefling, a dragonborn, and a cat walking around town.
Sounds like some bad joke.
Walk into a bar.
We did!
We are...
Start
bar.
screaming about the importance of reading.
That's gonna be on the headlines, I think.
For sure.
Oh dear.
Regardless, there's not much we can do. Well, some of us can do about our looks for long periods of time.
Are you implying something?
No, I'm saying that as much as I love having my makeup done, Varus, keeping it on while walking across, the plains. No. I don't know if we even bother changing the name if we can't change how we look.
Maybe we just don't be as obvious about our name.
Yeah, maybe no, the Vagabonds are here. None of that, but
Or if we just say, we're here.
what's up?
We don't even say anything in the first.
You announce
We just-
Silence.
We just don't announce ourselves.
We just show up.
That's a bit ominous. Vaz, how
someone
long did
asks-
you go without talking in a situation when you showed up somewhere and announcing yourself?
Would you like to find out? It's not very long.
Oh, I would love a moment of silence,
It's
actually.
not very long.
Let's try this. gonna sip my tea and we can practice, Bert. Okay, never mind. That's unsettling.
It's 15 whole seconds. Incredibly impressed.
Oh.
Are you choking on something? What's happening? Well,
Is that
anyway.
you throwing away a key?
Well, now this is just awkward.
We just don't say anything, we just stand there. That's not going to get our goals done, I don't think.
Well, for now, we probably get some rest, and
I was
then
going to say, speaking of goals, you know what gets our goals done? Sleeping for tomorrow.
exactly,
Oh,
and
man.
then start walking to where were we going? Halistan?
Have a steep?
I've got to look at the map.
Well, the next step is Halistan. I
Oh,
believe.
Yes, I think Halistan was the one. Halston? Hal? I'm trying to read this map. It's right in my eye.
that is another. I do just have one more quick question before we do go our separate ways for the night. Are we just going to walk, or do we want to procure, like, animals to ride, if we can? Like, is that something we want to try and do?
It's worth checking.
We can
Maybe it's
certainly
worth
afford
checking
it.
if they have horses or something.
Just bring our carriage and chariots with us.
I didn't mean it like that. We've rode on horses before. I think
mean-
we've all rode on horses
Matt,
before.
if we had, yeah, if we had some kind of horse or whatever, would we be able to make it all the way to Noriel, do you think? It's like, or would it be?
I mean, it's a long way, even on horseback. I mean, you're talking 50 miles. But yeah, if you had enough horses, you could make it. The issue is that you've only seen
Yeah.
horses in one place, and that was at Corzin's mansion.
Yeah, well, hey now.
So they're exceptionally
Um,
uncommon in this area.
Yeah,
Good
we'll
to
just pay people to carry us.
Bars can
somewhat,
just
but-
fly there and wait for us, I suppose.
It only works for 10 minutes.
He could pretend he flew there and waited for us, but actually just fly ahead for 10 minutes and then run the rest of the way.
I could
We
do-
might catch up to him soon enough.
Perhaps.
Or we could go to sleep and all walk there together.
That's a good point.
You know
Just been-
what?
It has been a rather long day.
It has.
Okay.
Well, good night to you all then. And as everybody leaves, I'm gonna I assume probably Varus and Zarius are sharing a room.
Yeah, probably.
Because we got 3 rooms, right?
Yeah, 3 rooms.
So Varus will just kind of go over to a corner and sit down and pull out that sending stone that he has, and squeeze it and say, "More adventures upcoming, but home soon, hopefully. Tell everyone I miss them." That's all.
All right. A few moments pass, and you hear, Varus, you know that we're all very proud of you. I'm glad to hear you're sticking it out there. That's it.
Or just goes to sleep with a smile on his face.
Oh,
The night passes without issue. As night passes and morning comes, you all are startled awake by the blaring of what you now know to be a steam whistle. You know this because there is one positioned directly outside of the window that you all share.
Oh, boy.
As you sort of rouse yourselves and get ready for the day, the rest of the inn and tavern below have completely cleared out. Apparently for some time. You guys are apparently late to the party. Once you've gathered your things and descended the stairs, you see that the bar beneath is very clean, and a different server is studiously scrubbing one of the tables clean of a stain left by some sort of bodily fluid you're not quite sure of. But You can grab some breakfast here if you'd like to, or you can just head out. Whatever you all would like to do.
I say one last good meal before we hit the road.
Not saying no to that.
I go for some food.
All right. As you all pick a table that doesn't have the chairs flipped over on it, the server comes by and asks you, gets your orders and everything, and later comes by with the food that you've ordered, and you all have it's not like the most elaborate breakfast, but it's hearty, and it's enough to get you for a good day of travel or work. So, you all have that. What else would you like to do?
We're really doing this again.
Yeah, should we maybe buy some rations before we go? Or
We did that.
oh, we did that.
We got
yes.
them, I think.
Yes. I believe I have them. Or at least I paid for them. I have them. I'll hold on to them.
Okay.
As I write them down in my inventory, because I totally remembered to do that last time. Yep.
Yeah. So it's 15 days of rations for the 5 of you. So you'll have to distribute out, because I don't think that Varus would be able to carry a lot of
So we'll just
Yeah.
all
Well,
write down.
I did buy a
15
bag of holding in
Oh, that's true.
Renaissance.
Yeah, so you could stuff that thing full if you wanted to.
Yep.
Okay.
I was gonna ask if you needed help, but all right.
Well, it looks like he's got it covered. I don't know how, but
I've got secrets, ladies and gentlemen. Secret places to store things. Wink, wink.
Oh Lord.
Now let us be off.
All right. So you venture out into the wide city streets and find them to be bustling with more of the enormous carts. Oh, sorry, I forgot to change the noises. I had them turned off.
The steam whistle
My
at
recap.
full volume plays through the
Yeah, you exit out into the wide city streets and find them to be bustling with more of the enormous carts that are being carefully directed to their respective receiving stations. The huge carts, piled high with raw materials, roll easily along the neatly paved road, and along the signs you see only 1 or 2 pedestrians walking around out of work. The rest of the people you see are swiftly heading this way and that, with a really focused look on their face, some with clipboards, some without. So, you've got your supplies, you've got your destination and general direction that you want to head in. What would you all like to do? Just as a reminder, Halliston is about a 3-day journey from where you are now. And Norial is about 3 days from there. And the gates, it's about another 5 days, so...
And you said it's just like a big, like, Montana plains kind of deal?
Yeah, there's not really... I mean, if you're going across the wilderness... If you're going along the road, there's, you know, stuff to see along the road. But if you're just going across the wilderness, it's pretty much just wild, like, dry desert. Not like sandy desert, but, you know, yeah, Montana, Idaho, that kind of sort of rolling hill style desert. Lots of sagebrush and cheatgrass and all that stuff. But it's not super difficult travel. It's just gonna be hot. You know, no shade, really, no breaks from the sun. So, but yeah, you haven't seen any horses, by the way, in this city either. Just large. You see those large herbivore dinosaurs that are, you know, lashed to the carts. So it's not like you could sneak off with one of those. Be a little noticeable.
No one will notice.
Man, you just broke my heart.
I know.
Riding dinosaurs.
That's kind of epic.
All right, guys.
We're all
One,
on
Vagabonds.
one bag.
Vagabonds dethrone a dictator and then steal a dinosaur.
It's like how Vox Machina's goal was to steal an airship. Ours is to steal a dinosaur.
That's right.
100%.
Dinosaur army.
All right, so
Even better.
you're headed out to towards Hallistan.
I think we're just
Yes,
going.
we are. Yeah, I
Okay.
think we got our shopping done.
Sounds great. 2 people make survival checks and 1 perception.
I've got a survival.
I'll get a perception.
I can find
also
my
do survival.
sheet.
21.
Nice, 21 survival, 26 perception. That's good. And 20 survival. Perfect. Okay, so you all make pretty good time. You're moving along pretty well across the plains here. You do hit a little patch of forest. It's a nice reprieve from the sun. But for the most part, you all are pretty much traveling in the open, but it's not unpleasant. It's not like some horrible, awful journey that you're taking and it's just suffering. Like, you all are traveling through these plains and rolling hills of the Tarred Protectorate have left you kind of with this deep feeling of connection and admiration for the beauty of this land. Everywhere around you as you've walked has been full of life, from the stickers and burrs that keep getting caught on your fur and clothing, to the cheerful birds and sometimes annoying insects that are buzzing about. The bright blue sky and the brilliant sun shine down, bathing the land in soft and warm rays of light. You've grown to appreciate the potential that this world has to offer. And for a few precious hours while you're walking, the trials, the strife, and conflicts of civilization fade from your minds, leaving behind a pleasant warmth that quickly filled with peace. This feeling of peace remains with you as you continue walking, and before long... Oh, sorry. This is over the course of several days, so I'm not going to stop. No sense in throwing a bunch of CR 1/8s at a party of level 10s, so you make it through pretty well.
When a bug gets too close to Harriet, she tries to hit it with her tongue.
Okay.
That's all that I have to note in this entire journey.
It's good to know. All right.
Is that she's like trying and it like misses, and then like every time pretends like she totally didn't just do that, and like, yeah.
Okay, good to
That's
know.
all.
It's important. Okay.
Very essential.
So, yeah, this feeling of peace remains with you as you continue walking day after day, and before long, the familiar skyline of a city rises beyond the gently rolling hills. You see dozens of buildings, though none taller than about 2 stories, all capped with bright terracotta tiled roofs. All around the city are fields growing different crops for consumption, mostly like wheat and corn, and you see several older people out tending them who give you enthusiastic waves before continuing on with their work. For each of the older people out working, you see 1 or 2 children toddling along, not being particularly helpful, but being very cute and bringing big smiles to the adults' faces, and occasionally pulling the odd weed here and there. Eventually, you find your way to the main road leading into town and see that, like Lashrier, it extends straight through the town and out the other side. Within the city, you see a large clock tower that also serves as a huge mill to grind out the grains gathered from the fields outside. You also see a sign reading, "Welcome to Halliston," painted with bright blues and yellows, the colors regularly spilling over the lines of the letters, showing the experience of the artists. Decorating the sides of the signs, you see dozens of small handprints of paint in many different colors, apparently a signature from the creators. The area immediately around the sign is neatly manicured and cleaned up, giving the entrance to the town a very welcoming and wholesome appearance. All of the buildings that you can see behind the sign are made from a combination of stones and mud or mud bricks, and lack any glass over the windows, having only simple wooden shutters instead. Right now you're about a quarter mile from the entrance of the city, although there are no real walls surrounding it, and you see that streets are about as busy as you could expect for a town this size. It's late afternoon at this time as you're arriving, so you assume that some of the people walking around are recently off work, and you see a mixture of older people with many younger families, and everyone seems to be generally pleasant and happy, and they're very active in greeting one another and saying hello. In between the clusters of houses, you notice several large grassy areas that are as neatly tidied as the welcoming sign. Squeaky merry-go-rounds and seesaws, sets of swings, and metal slides, all covered with children happily giggling and playing, their parents smiling on from the sidelines and chatting with one another. Hallistan sits before you. What would you like to do?
Wow, looks like they've got quite the setup here.
This looks like a very pleasant place.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I mean, I don't know what kind of accommodations they might have, but
At least something with shade.
we've been traveling for a while. Is it time to kick it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time for a warm bed. Well, maybe a cold bed tonight.
I'm thinking a cold bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be nice to
I
see
don't
them
know. I
actually
kind of
live.
fancy the desert.
Really?
Cats are desert animals.
I would have thought with all the fur, it would have been. You learn something new every day.
You know, it disperses the heat. It's not so much all on one spot.
I respect that.
I'm gonna pretend like that made sense so we can go and find a place to stay because it is bloody hot out here.
Okay. You push onward, approaching the city and entering in past the low stone henge that surrounds it, and you're immediately greeted with a number of hearty hellos and "Welcome to Halliston's" from passersby. As you walk along the cobblestone streets, you see lots of mixed age groups, which you assume to be great-grandparents or great-grandparents spending time with their families, and really taking an active role in child rearing. The walls are free of any kind of graffiti or posters, and for a few moments you're thrown back to childhood stories of faraway villages, free of troubles and evil villains, where the heroes go to live happily ever after. You quickly pass through the town. Sorry, let me change my town here. I think this is good. Okay. You quickly pass through the town. It's fairly small until you reach the center square. The large clock tower / mill dominates the northern side of the square, and the rest is filled with scattered and makeshift shop stalls, all covered with homemade trinkets, clothing, and household supplies. On the western side of the square, a low and wide wooden stage stretches out, and a sign reaches across, overhanging it that reads, Halliston Family Theater. And you can see a thick curtain bunched up at one side. A few hundred chairs are set up facing the theater that take up about half of the total square. Kitty corner to the theater is the only 3-story building in town, and you can see a warm light spilling out from the windows and open doors. Several small tables are set up outside of the building, and you see people being served food and drinks while they're sitting there. And now near the open door, you see a simple sign that says "In," and each letter looks like it was painted by a child with love. As you enter into the square, you see what is likely most of the town's population kind of milling about the square, perusing the shopping stalls and chit-chatting happily. Children are chasing each other around and play fighting and laughing joyfully while their parents look on. What would you all like to do?
Well,
I'm just gonna point over towards the theater and say, I want to go there, I want to go there.
All right, I mean, I'm down for a show tonight.
I would love that, oh my god.
I mean, we've got to spend money somewhere.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're approaching the stage.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta
All
see
right.
what's up.
So you approach the stage, and everyone, again, as you're passing, everyone is just like waving hello and like just trying to shake your hand and just greeting you. And it's not like an obnoxious, they don't know who you are, but they're just being very friendly and like open and welcoming you to their town. Very proud of their town. But as you approach, you see this big guy, like he's a large human guy, easily like 6'5", with this big round belly and white hair and a white beard. He's just like clapping, people on the back that he sees and just like laughing very heartily. He sees you approach and says, "Oh, hello! Welcome to Halliston. You're not from here, are you?"
No.
Oh, no. We
What?
travel a lot, just visiting the towns around.
Well, you've come at a very special time of year.
Oh,
Is that so?
What does that mean?
Twice a year, the kids get together and put on a show for the whole town. It really is quite special.
oh
This
my
year,
goodness.
I believe they're doing the story of Dagath the Terrible.
Dagath? Who's that?
Yeah.
You don't know it? Well, you're in for quite a treat.
No, I'm from out of town.
You're in for quite a treat. The children are the lifeblood of Halliston. They all bring us such joy. They truly are a wonder. I shudder to think of anything happening to them. Why, without their pure laughter filling my ears day after day, I swear I just couldn't go on.
Oh, sorry.
What time is the performance tonight?
The performances should be starting here in an hour and a half or so. Everybody's got to get off work and get into town and, get their affairs sorted out before they can come and relax for the evening.
Well, that sounds nice. Do you know a place where we could I don't know, grab a drink or a
Of
bite
course.
to eat, see what the town's cuisine is?
You've got it, yes. I actually run the inn across the way. I can take you there if you'd like.
Oh, wonderful. And you said your name was
Oh, my name is Francisco.
Francisco. I'm Kanan.
Kanan, it's a pleasure to meet you. He gives you this really, like,
You too.
his hand just engulfs your paw. It's this big, meaty hand that he's got. And he's just, very gentle as he shakes your hand, but it's just big.
Nice to meet you.
So,
May I see your inn?
Of course. Here, let me show you the way. And as he walks, everybody stops him and says hi to him. So it takes you a good 5 minutes to walk the 30 or 40 feet, and you're just standing there waiting, like, okay, all right, hi, yes, hi. But eventually you make it into the inn, and it's really quaint. It's very small inn. It's not like cramped feeling, but it has that like homey feel. This is definitely this guy's house that he's just added on to. And built up to be an inn as well. He gestures up the stairs and says, "There's only a couple of rooms up there. Take whichever ones you like. There should be enough beds for the 5 of you. We don't have anyone else in town this time, so they're all yours. Whatever you'd like. My wife here, Beth, will take care of any kind of food or drinks you might want. She really is a treasure." And you see him like look at her and kind of give her a wink. And she just glares at him. He's like, well, she's a treasure to everyone but me. Anyway, I've got to finish prepping for the show, but, hey, could I talk to you before you head upstairs, maybe?
Oh, of course.
We're not in a
After the
rush.
show?
Well, say, you all look like quite the capable bunch. I wonder if you'd be able to help our small town out.
With what?
Well, here, let's come over here. And he gestures down to the little, like, it's like an alleyway by the, not an alleyway, but like a narrow hallway kind of by the stairs. It's like, they're definitely using it for storage. There's a bunch of barrels and other kind of supply stored there. But he gestures you over there, and he kind of goes, and you're all very cramped because you all are fairly large as well. So you're just in this hallway with this big man. But no one else is in earshot. So he kind of gestures for you to come in close, and he says, well, it's a little embarrassing, but we've been having a bit of a rat problem lately.
What, like, normal-sized rats?
Well, no. These are dreadfully big, like the size of a small cat at the biggest.
Like an unusually sized rodent?
That would be a good name. You could call it that, yes.
Okay.
It seems that no matter what we do, we can't get rid of the damn things. We've tried breaking up their nests when we find them, sicking our dogs on them. We even brought in barn cats from the neighboring villages, but no matter what we do, we can't seem to get rid of them. We can't set out poison either, for fear that the little ones might accidentally eat it and hurt themselves. I know you probably have important business to attend to. People like you are usually dealing with matters of life and death. And we can handle this, not to worry.
What would you need us to do? Like, you said there's a nest somewhere?
Well, whenever we find the nests, we break them up and, smash the ones that are inside. But it seems that no matter what we do, there's always more. Can't seem to get rid of all of them. I don't know what exactly help you could provide, but, well, we're just sort of at our wits' end here.
We could try talking to them.
Well, you could try to negotiate. I suppose I hadn't thought of that. Because they're rats, but...
I mean, we could give it a look, but aside from the show, we're not really doing that much else tonight. I don't mind giving it a look. Like, looking around at everybody else, like,
It'd be a nice break from walking.
We could scout it out at least. Maybe even if we can't help, help what the next step might be. I don't know.
Sure.
Oh,
We're not really much of exterminators in that way.
as I said, we can handle this. We just thought I'd ask, in case you had some kind of specialty in this regard. I heard there was a young man who helped out Two Mage Turn when they had an infestation of some kind. And I sent word a little over a week ago. Any day now, we should be getting the help we need. So, if it's too much trouble or if you're not quite sure, it's completely all right. Not an issue. I just thought I'd ask.
Sorry, just a clarification. If you just thought you'd ask, why did you bring us to this hallway to ask us specifically about? Is it a serious problem or not?
People don't exactly like to hear that the kitchen they're eating out of has a rat problem. It's everywhere in the town, it's not just my inn, but people don't like that kind of thing, that kind of talk around their food, It's one of those unspoken things that everyone knows about, but they don't talk about.
What exactly would you be asking of us? To go smash up some rats, or to look for a way to get them to stop coming back?
Yes, to all of that. Yes.
Gotcha.
But again, we've got an expert coming in, so I thought I'd ask just in case. Maybe you're rat specialists, or rat whisperers, or rat people, I don't know. You're not from town, so I thought I'd ask.
Can I, insight check that on...
Yeah, me too.
Why us?
Sure.
In this... Yeah.
Is it really rats? What's happening?
17 for Xeres, okay.
Oh my god, twins.
Twins. Okay, yeah, normally...
Sorry, guys.
And Ira, if you want to do one, you gotta announce that you want to do one before. And I'm not gonna have everybody roll for one thing, so... but we'll take the two 17s. So, yeah, he seems pretty genuine. He seems kind of just like he's tried everything he can think of to get rid of these rats, and there's nothing that he can do that will get them to permanently go away. He does seem a little like he's underselling how big they are, but
yeah.
And it doesn't seem like he's being suspicious about it on purpose. He really just doesn't want people to overhear and kind of like he's just trying to save everybody from thinking about it and talking about it,
Well, we could go give it. You said the show's not for
an hour or so, I believe, right?
Hour or so?
Well, at this point, I've got to get over and finish helping them set up, and the seats are gonna fill up. So if you want a good chair, you better get out there. And the rats will be here tomorrow, so we can talk about it then if you want.
Sure. And I suppose if they're not here tomorrow, then you don't need us. So.
You got that right. If only. But, well, hey, I got to get ready to introduce them. So head on out there and find yourself some good seats.
Rat hunting, guys.
I think it sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what we do, kind of? On a grander scale?
I mean, dealt with rats before.
Oh, have you?
Oh, I guess you weren't with us. This guy, I believe his name was John, took us up to a mine, and there were some rat people.
Those rats.
I believe when we first met, there was the bard who put on the visual song, and that was included, wasn't it? And talked with them or
Right, it
something.
was.
Yeah. That's where I got the dagger that I carry around and use all the time.
Yes, all the time.
All the time.
Boris, you have a dagger.
And my
do,
quarterstaff.
I have two, I think. Yeah, I have two.
Yep, two.
Rummaging in the bag. I've got it.
Dagger.
No.
Oh, there's one. Dagger. Oh, there's two. Yeah, you knew that because I use it all the time.
Yes, definitely. When I think of Varus, I think of someone wielding a knife,
Yeah.
lurking in the shadows, doesn't like to be seen.
I mean, you
No.
do notice more things than us, Darius. Maybe that's it.
Can really see who Varus wants to be.
So,
A
Oh.
wooden fish statue. That's who I want to be.
No, I
right
wish
now.
I hadn't seen that one.
so would we just be dealing with regular rats? And do we have the time for that?
I mean, they're just rats. Even if they are the size of cats, they're still just rats. You poke them and then they don't exist anymore.
True.
And
Right.
we're not really on any particular timetable. I mean,
And
we've
even
got
if
somewhere
we-
we're headed.
Yeah. Even if we leave first thing in the morning, we still have time tonight and maybe a little in the morning as well.
I don't know.
Depending on how long the show goes.
There's something to be said for just, helping people for once. Instead, like, that we get, a little instant gratification moment.
I mean,
You're right.
the place we just came from, so...
And we're
Use it
helping
as
this
well.
person who contacted Zarius.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. We're checking it out.
We're walking
How would-
into a trap with our eyes open.
Exactly.
First time.
We're walking headfirst into a trap, knowing it's a trap, and knowing it's probably not going to go well. But if that isn't
Lord,
on brand,
I'm walking headfirst into this front row seat of this high establishment play.
That's a good point. We should go get some seats for the play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, you head out, and the sun has set at this point, and the little bit of golden light remaining mixes with the fantastical display of colors painted across the distant clouds that have formed over the horizon towards the west. As the crowd comes to a hush, several people walk around the town square, lighting oil lamps hanging on J-shaped hooks, scattered about near the shop stalls and on the edges of the stage. The purple curtain has been drawn across the surprisingly well-lit stage, and after a moment of waiting, you hear a loud and shallow thump, thump, thump from a drum somewhere behind the curtain. A young voice speaks up clearly. "Gather round." "Wait, Greg, you have to pull the curtain back." And you see a small child, no older than like 8 or 9, run out and grab the curtain, get shy when he sees how many people are gathered there, and then sheepishly grab the curtain and run to the other side of the stage, pulling it on these metal hooks as it goes across. He struggles to drag it along with him, and finally reveals an older girl who's maybe 13, standing wearing a cloak of thick animal skins and a stag's head as sort of a crown or mask, also holding a circular leather shield. She clears her throat and begins again, music playing from behind the stage, out of sight. "Gather round, for I will tell you the tale of Dagath the Terrible. At a time long, long ago, in a place much like this, lived a man much like you. She says this part while pointing and making eye contact with members of the crowd, and the final "you" resting on you, Zarius. Dagath had dreams of changing the world. Meanwhile, several more children have confidently entered the stage, dressed in strange costumes, with one clearly intended to be Dagath, wearing the only bluish cloak. The children all walk around the stage in big, exaggerated steps, while Dagath struts confidently, refusing to shake their hands, and they all react negatively. No one liked Dagath, and no one listened to his dream of changing the world, because he acted like he was the boss. This made him very, very angry. And at this point, Dagath has taken center stage and is standing with his arms crossed in front of him. Instead of talking to the elders, or listening to the ancient wisdoms, Dagath ran away, swearing to make everyone like him, no matter what. Dagath has turned and begun running in place while the rest of the kids have run backwards off the stage, 2 of them tripping and falling, and one of them bursting into tears, rushing off the stage to his parents. Dagath stands alone on the stage, minus the narrator at the edge. Dagath ran, and eventually got lost in the woods. These were the spooky, dark woods where people go to kill a man. 5 kids have come out dressed as trees and are standing around the stage, one of them facing the wrong direction. Alone and scared, Dagath cried for his mom, but she didn't come. But someone else did come. 2 children enter from the sides of the stage, one of them sitting on the other one's shoulders, covered in this long black cloak, wisps of sheer white fabric trailing behind like smoke. The figure approaches the crying Dagath and pats his head. Dagath stopped crying and asked who she was. The person answered, I am here to help you change the world. Dagath answered, How? And the woman said, Give me just a bite of your soul, and I'll give you everything you need. Dagath thought long and hard before he turned to the lady and said, Yes, I want to be the boss. On stage, Dagath has enthusiastically grabbed the hand of the figure and begun shaking it vigorously, almost toppling the 2 of the kids over. The lady loomed over Dagath and took a deep, long breath, sucking out part of his soul and making him way older. Dagath runs off stage and hands the cloak off to an older kid who runs back out, taking his place. The lady also gave him a powerful staff she said would make everyone like him and do what he says. The lady figure gives a tall walking stick with a snake coiled around it to Dagath, who takes it and begins walking in place. Dagath returned from the Killaman forest and came back to his town. No one recognized him because he was older. Right away, he started telling people what to do and making them listen to him with his powerful staff. He made everyone do everything exactly like he wanted, and made himself the mayor of the town. On stage, Dagath has walked around, gently bopping all of the other kids on the head one by one, and after he does, they follow him around, kind of like acting like zombies. Eventually, a large chair is brought out and Dagath sits in it, all of the other kids sitting in neat rows in front of him. Dagath ordered everyone to work hard and clean all the toilets all day, and never gave them any breaks. Before long, no one smiled anymore, and no one wanted to sing or play music or paint. All the kids on stage have huge frowns on their faces, and Dagath is sitting in the chair smiling. After a moment of this, everyone on stage shifts to the right, and a single little girl with a shepherd's staff surrounded by a bunch of kids dressed as sheep with clanging bells walk on stage. Then one day, a little shepherd girl came back to town after feeding her sheep for a long time. She saw everyone acting weird and being really sad, and decided enough was enough. She walked right up to Dagath. When he saw her, he ordered her, Go clean my toilet. But she stood her ground and said, No, and you stink. You're nothing but a big meanie. You're not the boss of me. Dagath recoiled in horror. No one had stood up to him since he got his power staff. After she said this, one by one, all the townspeople stood up and told him no. You see all the kids on stage standing up one by one and shouting no at the top of their lungs. Then all the people got together, led by the little shepherd girl, and picked Dagath up and carried him out of town. They took him to the cliffs that overlooked the Killaman forest and threw him off, where he fell and broke every one of his bones and splatted and died. Then they took his staff and burned it in the middle of the city and made the shepherd girl the mayor. She promised that everyone would be able to choose their own life, and the only people who would have to clean the toilets were the ones who got in trouble or who were really mean. The kids all kind of elect the mayor, and this concludes the tale of Dagath the Terrible. But beware, for in each of us there is the chance to be good or bad. We have to always work hard to stay good, no matter what. All of the gathered people begin to applaud enthusiastically, many of them rising from their seats to give a standing ovation. And the narrator bows, the draped patchwork of fur falling gently forward before she gestures to the sides of the stage, and all of the other kids come out, hold hands, and take a deep bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're up. Well, Harriet's up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Okay. The innkeeper, Francisco, walks up to the stage behind the kids, faces the crowd, and says, Well, that was quite a performance, wasn't it? The story of Dagath is an important one, and I'm glad the kids have decided to do it. We've all got to stay vigilant against greed and evil. Just then, a humongous rat pushes out from the bushes under the stage and shrieks. It's easily the size of a dog, causing the first few rows to step back, knocking over chairs and tables, and the kids on stage scream. The rat is easily the size, like I said, of a large dog, or like the size of like Harriet's thigh. What would you like to do?
How far away from us is it?
You guys came in a little late to sit down, so it's maybe you're in like maybe the fifth or sixth row. So you've got a good like 20, 30 feet.
Can Zarius see it like at a clear line of sight type thing?
There's a bunch of everyone's standing up, so you're like looking through.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it, but it's like people are panicking, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kanan, I'll let Zarius do his thing first.
No, you can go ahead. He's just gonna try to walk forward, and if he can get a clear line of sight, cast Guiding Bolt at it. But
Do that.
yeah, he doesn't want to hit people.
Okay. Yeah, so you
Ahead of
go
him.
up. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay. Core athletics.
16. Pretty good. You managed to push your way through the first row of crowd and the chairs and stuff that are there, and you've got a decent sight on it. It'd be tight. Essentially, it'd be like firing through partial cover.
Okay.
So if you want to take the chance, you
So-
can, or if not, no big
Yeah,
deal.
he'll take the chance and add 10 to it if he feels like he needs to.
Okay.
So, no, that's probably okay.
If it
28
ain't,
to
we got a
hit.
big problem.
9 damage.
So you pull back the spell, and you see the light kind of charging up. You release it forward, and it kind of arcs through, zigzagging through the crowd there, managing to avoid everybody. It hits the side of the rat, and it blows a big chunk of its back out. But the thing is still alive. It's just like bleeding everywhere. It's kind of splattered on the back of the ground there, like leading up to the stage. At this point, the narrator girl grabs Dagath's staff from one of the other kids, leaps from the stage, and jams the rod the rest of the way through the rat's back. It squeals again, and she just stomps it to death with her bare foot. Blood and brains and bone kind of splattering on her fur-covered feet.
Yeah!
Fucking legend.
Darius is gonna applaud.
Yeah, Darius is applauding as well.
Francisco clears his throat and says, our heroes, thank you. Not to worry, folks, the rat problem will be handled shortly. That fellow from Two Maids should be arriving within the next week or so. Let's everyone head home and think about the story of Dagath the Terrible.
There's a giant rat.
And
crowd
not
begins-
the giant rat.
Yeah. The crowd begins to disperse, everyone kind of talking quietly to one another. The sight of the surprised rat clearly having an effect on the crowd. It's late in the evening at this point, probably close to 10 or 11 p.m. You have rooms at the inn. What would you like to do?
Well, now we've seen the rat problem for ourselves. Do we want to go and give it another look tonight, or do we want to
Yeah,
wait?
they seem kind of big.
Might be worth at least finding where they come from.
Yeah. We want to ask. Francisco said there was some in the kitchen, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we might ask him
so.
if he knows where any of these nests are.
Or if we can get down there and look around. Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's worth a shot.
Let's go.
All right. So, go and find Francisco.
Okay. Yeah, Francisco's helping pack up the chairs and tables and stuff. There's a number of other people out helping as well. As you approach him, he says, how'd you like the show?
It's a wonderful
Great.
show. Yeah.
Dagath is one of our oldest stories, but it's an important one.
Really? I mean, I'm curious personally. I'm quite a collector of stories, you could say. Was this a real story, or is this just like a fable of sorts?
Well, it's a tough question. You know, some people would like to say that, yes, this is absolutely real, and everything that was mentioned here happened exactly as it is recorded. But, legends change over time, and these things may have developed as well. Personally, if you want to know my opinion, I think that there's a grain of truth at the core. I think that there was a man named Dagath. I think that he certainly had some kind of power, perhaps like your friend here, with that magic kind of whatever it was. And you know the history of the Calamon Timberland over there. It's where the name comes from.
Oh, really? From Dagath?
It's the forest where you go to kill a man.
I didn't know that.
Kill a man, Calamon.
Mm.
Pretty close, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
Well,
some bad stuff in that forest, if you ask me.
yeah. Anyway, rats. Is that like? Do you know of any nests or anything that we could go take a look at?
Usually, whenever we find a nest, we take care of it right then and there. Try not to let them settle in any given spot. But you can always check out McClendon's chicken coop. There's usually a spot out there. He's just on the outside of town, almost near the direction that you came in from. And he describes a little more of like, it's basically just inside the front stone wall there. It's the first cluster of houses on the left. So McClendon's farm. What else? You could check out, I guess, below the stage. That's apparently where some were hanging out. You could check out there. Just try not to disturb the stage too much. The kids worked really hard to clean it up this year.
of course.
Is there like a place to get under it, like a trapdoor or something?
Around the side, the bushes cover up the side openings, so you can just go around the side there and be able to get in just fine. It's a tight space, though, so unfortunately, I think that some of you might have a little trouble getting in there.
We'll do our best.
You said they keep coming back. Is there something particular, like a food or something they like here? Or
You know, that's what I haven't been able to figure out. Normally, rats go after things like chicken eggs or stores of dry food, those kinds of things. These ones seem to... It's almost like they eat everything. It's very strange, very bizarre. They don't go after the stone buildings, but the wooden ones, they'll chew through that. They'll eat the bushes around here. They'll eat scraps of food or anything left over, really. It's very, very strange.
Seems quite unusual. Anira, would you know anything about like rats eating things they wouldn't?
Would I? Matt?
Make a nature check.
Sorry, I was across
You're
the room.
You're good.
Palmer now, but I was across the room. Nature.
23. You've heard of animals acting bizarrely before, right? Eating uncommon things. It's not like the most outlandish thing that you've ever heard of. Rats in particular, especially ones of this size, is something foreign to you. There are lots of types of magic that could make animals behave differently, even lots of nature magic. So it's certainly possible that something has corrupted them or some kind of thing has infected them. It definitely doesn't seem like a natural cause unless it's magical.
There is a condition with animals called pica, I believe. It's where they eat things that aren't food. But I've never seen this giant of rats. I've never heard of them devouring everything. I suspect it's not quite natural.
Wow. I mean, I don't know much about animals. They kind of stay away from me, but I know that's your turf, Anira.
I could try talking to them, but I can say I've never seen rats of this size, and certainly never rats of this size that have eaten everything. Rats are scavengers, but they typically tend to stay towards foods that other beings see as food.
Huh.
We'll have to find some first.
Would you call this an ROUS? a rat of unusual size.
I don't think
what I
those
said.
exist.
I don't think those exist. I've heard of those, but I don't think they exist.
They're not about to exist. We're going to eliminate them.
Matt just throws a rat of unusual size at one of our faces.
Oh, well, anything you can do, I'd appreciate the help.
If we find one, I can talk to it.
Like I said, the guy from Two Mage should be arriving within the next week or so, so we'll have the solution then.
Well, that's
What's this
good.
guy's name?
You know, I'm not sure. They haven't given me his name yet. I just sent a messenger to ask around town to find the guy who helped them out. So I don't know. I didn't even know that there was a guy who could help that kind of thing out. But rumor travels, you know. We got a shipment in from Two Mage for our oil lamps, and this guy said, hey, yeah, they had some kind of pestilent problem. I don't know, and he took care of it for him. Lickety split.
Oh, so you don't know if he'll be coming?
Well, we
What if they
requested
don't
him.
find him?
We requested him, and it should be getting here soon. We offered a pretty good hefty pay for that guy to come, so a little more than I
Well,
wanted
that's
to
good.
spend, but you know.
Well, how much is he asking? I mean, it's just rats.
That's what I said, but I'm not an elder on the council, so I don't get to make these kinds of decisions. I voiced my opinion, and they offered to enter into a permanent trade agreement with this guy. So,
A
seems
single
little,
guy?
Seems a little excessive to me, but that's what the elders say.
Well, if we can take care of the problem, we'll try. And if not, it sounds like he's got it under control.
I hope so. I'm hopeful. I'm looking forward to it. I think that he'll take care of it.
Well, does someone want to try crawling around under the stage, or should we go?
Hey, I do.
I will not be doing that.
That doesn't surprise me.
Can I can become a rat, you know.
You can.
I might
Just be careful. I don't
as-
want them shooting you because they think you're a rat, Anira.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know,
I could be like a teal rat or something. I don't know.
They
that
might shoot you
scare them
faster.
more.
How about I go and
Shoot you
look around
faster.
first? I can go and look around first, and then maybe you can turn into a rat. I don't know.
No, I think that's a really great idea because I mean everyone's heading to bed now, and as long as
Francisco.
Frederica.
As long as Francisco knows what your rat looks like, I mean he's the only one who
And
I think could be up this late.
You all are going to be standing right here.
Of course, just don't go out into people's bedrooms or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. There go my plans. I'll be careful.
Well,
All right.
I would like to wild shape into a rat. And since I
Okay.
saw the rodents of unusual size, I can become a rodent of unusual size.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord.
Easy peasy.
And I'm at full HP, so if they attack me and I drop form, I still have enough HP to survive.
Okay.
so you
Let me
think?
check a couple of things here.
Our rat kill.
Okay, so you retain your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
I think I retain all the stats except... I think it's like if one strat is greater, use that, but keep the base as my own, you know?
No,
Yeah.
you keep intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. The rest of your stats are transformed.
Okay.
Strength. Yeah.
Which makes sense.
You keep your mental stats, you lose your physical stats.
Yeah. You can't
It's not
cast spells,
polymorph, you're
and
not
your
gonna go-
ability to speak is determined by the creature that you are. So,
I can at least
Yeah.
be like a scout,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Right. Easier than sending 6-foot Varus to climb under the stage.
I am a stick figure.
Varus might be able to get extracted. I don't want you putting 6'7" Harriet under the stage.
Okay, so Anira, poof, transforms into a very large and kind of almost hideous-looking big rat. You said teal, right?
Yeah, just a mark.
Just a bright teal rat. This big thing. And now that you're seeing it, right next to you, these things are big. They're like the size of a good-sized dog. They're big, meaty, beefy. These people are right to be concerned about it.
Beefy boys.
I already want the old Anira back.
Can I just squeak at Harriet?
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
If you're gonna go.
Go.
I will go look for more rats and see where
Okay, where are you starting at?
Probably we're still near the stage, yeah?
You're nearest the stage, yeah.
Okay, probably under the stage, if that's where the one came from.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm kind of brain fogged.
You're good. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation.
Based on the rat's stats. Oh no, it's your stats still, because it's an intelligence score. I'm just gonna say, these rats are not gonna have a good time, but you'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, 10, investigation,
It's
great.
a 10.
So you push through the bushes, and you kind of claw your way down a little bit so you can fit underneath the corner of the stage there. And you see immediately as you're down there, it's like they've definitely broken and chewed through the side. There was a side panel in place, and they've just destroyed that. And you get down, and it stinks. It smells like rat down here. There's that nice rotting kind of fabric or mildewy kind of gross smell. It's very gross. But you get down, and you notice the ground is really soft, unnaturally soft. It feels like the whole base of where you are could be I'm trying to think of how to explain this. Could be like moldy soil. It's very soft, but it definitely has stringy, thick elements through it. You can't really make out what it is. Your eyesight isn't great in this form. But it definitely feels pretty gross on your little rat feet. But you continue pushing further, and you're about at center stage at this point. And you see, at first you think it's just a big rock or something like that. And you go up and you kind of sniff next to it, and it's a big one of these rats. And it turns and just shrieks at you. You notice its eyes are bloody red. And it has the inside, all its teeth are kind of rotted through, its gums are kind of rotting out, and you see kind of behind it, it's feasting on, it looks like some kind of bone, like a dog would eat on. It's a good sized bone. You're not sure what it's from with just the glance, but you are now engaged with this rat. What would you like to do?
Can I shriek at it again? Can I shriek back at it and run the other way?
Yeah. Make an intimidation check. See if it'll follow you.
I don't want it to follow me.
Well, that's what you're trying to scare it.
Yeah, I know.
So 11. You go to turn away, and you start to make your escape. This rat takes a honkin' chomp onto your tail. It doesn't bite and clamp down to try to pull you in place, but it just bites at you. Your rat form takes 3 points of piercing damage.
Cool. You have the stats, so I don't know.
Yeah. I'm keeping track of everything. And you book it. Are you running out from under the stage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna run back towards the group.
Okay. Yeah, you make squeaking. It out. No problem. Squeaking like crazy, and you exit out from the bushes there. And the rest of the party sees you. You all heard this commotion of squeaking and stuff, but you don't know what else is going on.
Okay. I will make it back to the group. Drop form. Just big rat, bone, moldy soil, gross.
There. Are you all right?
It's fighting those things is much scarier as a rat.
How did you go down there as a rat in the first place?
I thought it would be easier. I don't know. I thought it would be cool.
Was it cool?
I mean, yes.
Every druid
but
ever.
if I didn't have to fight something, that would have been better.
All right. Harry will put like a hand on your shoulder, like, Queen, what on earth?
I'm gonna go down there as a person and give it another look.
There's a big rat eating a bone, so...
How big?
For
Like
now.
bigger than you were big? Because you were.
It was like bigger than me, right? Yeah. It was big as a rat, and so I can't.
It was big as a rat.
You know what I mean.
Lord.
I'm gonna go and give it a
Well,
look. Your explaining skills are not great when you're under pressure, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna try and
Nice knowing you, Boris.
You were to see
That's a
us
sound,
chiming in.
sound Varus makes.
Yep.
The real reason they asked us is because he saw Kanan as a cat, and he has these like racist perspectives on Kanan being great at getting. I'm calling it out right now.
Yeah. All right, so Varus, you're heading
Agree
over
with
to
me.
the side of the stage.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and squeeze myself down there.
Okay. You get down and you kind of pull the bush to the side, and you see the same spot that Anira entered. There was a panel there. It's on a hinge, so you could just flip the hinge up if you wanted to, using your thumbs. Yeah. And then you see it's like just a narrow little column that goes underneath. But yeah, it smells a little bit now that you flip the thing open. Kind of stinks. It smells like moldy soil. Like a plant that you've watered way too much and just let it sit and fester, that kind of thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You can see under there with your dark vision, and you can't make out the color of the soil or anything like that because it's just black and white. But you do see a big rat about center stage, just chomping, and it's crunching through this bone. The bone's thick. It's like maybe like a dog leg bone. For a rat to be able to crunch through it is impressive, but it's big. It fills up the space. You guess it probably came in there, got really fat, and got stuck, and it can't get out. That's probably what happened. So.
And that's like, there's no other like ways to go down here. It's just this open room with a big rat in it.
Yeah, it's just like a small little the stage is just like a rectangle. They just built it on top of the ground. So there are a couple of support beams in the middle, but yeah, you can't. There's nowhere else for it to go.
All right. So I'll head back to like the opening and just poke my head out and. Well, there is a big rat down here. It's really big. Should I put it down? It's the only one down here, so.
I mean, do we think it could lead us to where more of them are?
There's nowhere else to go down here. As far as I can see.
Maybe there's one of these under all of the places Francisco was telling us about.
Nice, good.
Francisco-san?
Herman?
Frank?
Frankie?
Anira, do you think it'd be worth trying to talk to it?
I could sure try.
No, if we should send her down there alone.
If it helps, we can have Varus go in and,
I'm still
beat it
down
within
here,
an inch of
so-
its death and then talk to it.
She will slowly walk back to the stage and poke her head under. Can she, without going all the way under, could you see the rat?
Oh yeah, the stage isn't that big. Varus, you wouldn't have even needed to go underneath it if you didn't want to. You could just flip the thing up and see. The stage is only like 30 feet long.
Well,
Just
You
crawling
down
around
here,
there, no problem.
yep, I guess.
now.
How close is it?
It's about halfway, so it's maybe like 15, 18 feet.
Okay. Can I first, when I'm under there, cast Animal Friendship on it?
Sure,
Maybe?
will you put it in the chat? I can't remember what the spell does.
Yeah. It lets me convince a beast I mean it no harm. If an intelligence is 4 or higher, it fails. Or it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
4 or higher, it fails. Okay, good. So it's, 16 on wisdom save, okay? 24 hours. Nice. Okay, cool. What's your morsel of food that you're using?
One of the blackberries that I still have. I'm
Cool.
just gonna chew a blackberry.
Okay.
My finger.
This blackberry at this point is a little moldy, but
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it's a rat.
you throw it in there. Yeah, you throw it in there, and it ravenously rushes forward, and you see it gets stuck underneath one of the support beams, and it can't.
Oh.
It's just trying to bite at it, and it just can't quite get it. But you feel that the spell worked.
Okay, and can I now cast Speak with Animals?
Yeah.
Because more than 6 seconds passed?
Yeah. It's just trying to bite at this thing.
I
Yeah.
can
Okay.
summon
Hey.
my sword and just poke the berry towards it so it'll roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is-
As you do this, it just ravenously just snarfs this thing up. Eats a big chunk of dirt at the same time.
Snarfs.
Snarf.
Arf.
Arf, arf.
She will just. Hey, friend.
Eat. I have to eat. Do you have food? I need to eat. I have to eat. And it just keeps repeating this, I need to eat over and over and over.
Well, why do you need to eat though? Like, you can talk to me.
I
Literally,
have
you
to
can
eat.
talk to me.
They said eat. I have to eat. All I can think about is food. I have to eat.
Why though?
That's
I
what
know
I'm-
you're a.
That's what I'm here for. I have to eat. They said to eat. They said
Who
I have
said
to eat
to?
everything.
Who said to eat?
They did. They said to eat. That's why I'm here. I came out of the ground and now I'm here. They said to eat.
Who's they? You're not making much sense, friend. Even though you're a rat, you.
It's a rat. Doesn't exactly have a lot of info to give here, but yeah, it just I need to eat. The voices say to eat. I need to eat.
Oh, voices. Okay.
I hear the voices. I hear the music. I have to eat.
The voices and the music. Well, do you want some help getting out of here?
Help. Yes. Out. Yes. Then I can eat. Out.
Okay. Can I? You said it got stuck under a support beam. Is there any other way for it to get out?
Yeah, it just backs up. It could go the other way over the support beam, and it would be a tight fit, but it could make it.
Okay. I will kind of climb under just a little bit, and you have to promise to not hurt me, okay?
No hurt. Just eat. I need to eat.
Okay. Follow, and I will guide it out the panel side thing.
Okay.
That was the panel, right?
Yeah, well, you just have to push it back out from under the support beam, and then it can go over the other side, and then it'll be able to go out through the panel thing.
Yeah. I would like to try that.
Cool. Yeah, easy peasy. This thing is very trusting of you since you gave it that blackberry, and you do this without issue. You push back, and you can see it desperately resisting the desire to chomp on your hand as you kind of push it backwards, but it does resist. And then it climbs up over, and very quickly, as soon as you're out of the way, very quickly skitters out of the tunnel, turns once real fast to look at you and says, "Thank you. Now I have to eat. And just begins getting ready to book it.
Kanan's gonna grab it. It's out of the thing now, yeah.
It's out, yeah.
And as that was happening, Varus would have wanted to ask, Anira, what?
Shh. I'm making progress.
Okay, so Kanan, you're gonna try to grab it as it runs away.
Yeah.
Okay, make I would say just make an athletics check. If you're not proficient, add your proficiency modifier. 22. Okay. This thing books it, and it's moving fast, but you have cat-like reflexes, and you manage to grab it. Unfortunately, you do instinctively put your claws out, and you kind of sink your claws in, and it shrieks. And Ira, you hear it just yell, "Ah! The thing is hurting me! The big thing wants to kill me!"
Hey, Kanan, hey, whoa, stop. He's friendly.
Sorry, I just get too excited.
Lyra, you do
She'll
realize that
attract her claws.
if this thing goes, someone's gonna kill the shit out of it.
As you're still holding this, you kind of get a good look at it now in the moonlight that's out, and you see it has these big like growths coming out of it. It's got like extra bones that are protruding from its ribs. It's very like malformed, and there's a lot of really gross, like, you know, bulbous kind of fluid-filled sacs on it. A lot of the skin is very like rotted and malformed. There's big patches that are like hairless for whatever reason. The eyes are again that bloody red color. You see again all the teeth are kind of rotted out. The gums are decaying.
And I think this thing would have more mercy dead.
Yeah, why are we letting it go? You need to explain right now.
Well, it said it needed to eat, and I mean...
Me too!
You're
And
just
I'm not gonna be able to eat for hours after this.
They're eating everyone's houses, though.
Yeah.
At this point, it started to like squirm and try to shake out of your hands. Can and make another athletics check.
Ah, claws.
Okay. 17. You manage to hang on, and you sink your claws in, and it's this sort of brackish blood that comes out. It's very like sticky and thick, not like ordinary blood. Yeah, it's pretty gross.
I refuse to deal the killing blow. If one of you decides to, that's your choice.
Can you just explain why you wanted to let it go in the first place?
It's an animal.
So?
Wait, is there any
I'm an
kind
animal.
of magic on it that's making these rats eat crazy things?
It talked about
I
the
can't
voices.
tell.
It heard voices. It heard music. The voices told him to eat and eat and eat.
So maybe like some insanity spell has been cast on it?
Maybe.
And we're just
Can
gonna
any
let
of
that
you
go.
guys tell?
What?
Just
Let me
do. I refuse to deal the killing blow.
Simba.
I refuse to deal the killing blow. If one of you decides to, that's your choice.
I see no reason why this thing should be let go or continue living.
Then do it. That's your choice.
Do we think it has been
Why are we
cursed in
having a
some way?
moral quandary right now about
Guys, just hold on.
It's just squirming in Kanan's hands.
gonna make another athletics check. And Anira, this thing is just screaming in pain, and you can hear it in full, like as it
I
were
know.
English. So it's just like, please don't, All right, you're still
Zarius.
hanging on. It's starting to slip from your grasp, though, and you see these big tracks are torn from your claws in the flesh of it.
It's so gross.
Zarius is gonna walk up and just cast Remove Curse on it to see if that does anything.
Okay,
So
Um,
there's that in the chat if you want it.
you're casting it it's at
what a
third level,
wisdom
right?
king.
Yeah, just a third level spell.
So roll a d20 plus your wisdom modifier. I guess just a wisdom check then.
Okay.
It's 5.
Cool. So,
Oh my God.
it's 25 total. Okay. So
Yeah.
you cast the spell, and it's strange. The creature that you're actively gripping onto, Kanan, shifts, and its body changes shape, and you see it reduce in size, and you're left holding a bunch of this gross, like fleshy, bony stuff, and a normal sized rat just plops out of the guts of it and skimpers off, runs away. And you have this
Oh.
like husk of a rat in your hands.
Not the rat suit.
Well,
What the hell?
we
What
thought
was
it might-
that, Zarius? What
we
was
thought-
that?
Well, we thought it might be cursed, so I thought, remove curse.
Well, I think obviously it was.
Yeah, so now we know something.
Now we know it's magic.
Yeah.
What on earth?
Only there was a way
It's
to
not
detect
It's
that.
magic. You know.
Can I-
I was kind of hoping to hold on to it afterwards, but it's gone now.
Well, I've got its guts here, so.
No, you
And
can.
Kanan will toss it at
Oh.
Darius.
Maybe we should put that back under the
That's-
stage, or
that's
burn it, or
disgusting.
something.
Put that thing back where I came from. Also help me.
Zarius will just drop the flesh on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. Can
Your
I
hands are
make a
stained.
suggestion?
Ugh.
Kanan, your fur on your hands is just stained
I'll
black.
prestidigitate your fur a bunch.
Yeah, you try. It stays on there. Takes a good 5
I
or 6
tried.
efforts.
I really did.
Well,
So we just have to.
I feel like honestly that was a lot of magic to use on a rat. we might just want to kill them instead.
Yeah.
But now we know
We'll
it's...
find out who's cursing them.
Yeah, that someone is cursing these rats. I was hoping...
What's the use
Oh.
in killing them? Like, if we don't know who's cursing them, 'cause
Yeah,
they'll just
maybe-
keep being cursed.
Maybe we can try to find another, do that to it, and hold on to the ratling that runs away.
Someone else
And ask
hold
it
on
what
to the
happened.
rat.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
that
hold on.
it
You
doesn't
talked
die.
to it, Anira? Did the rat
Yes.
know anything? Did you ask it?
I tried. All it said was eat, eat, eat. It talked about music and voices.
Sounds like Varus.
Music, voices, and food.
Yeah.
It was chewing on this like bone, and it
How
was
did it get...
rotund enough to not be able to fit like under one of the support beams. And
How did it get the bone?
I don't know.
How did it get
Oh.
cursed? I don't care how it got the
Said it was
bone.
meat. What if, do you know anyone at Two Mage Turn? Because I hear curses, I hear mage, and I hear that there's someone from Two Mage Turn coming to deal with these cursed rats.
No, I mean, I passed through it briefly on my way to New Calamon, when I went for Gaston, but I don't know anyone. I didn't stop.
The only name we've heard, isn't that Win or something?
I
We
did.
have
That
heard
does,
that name.
that does ring a few bells, yes.
I'm glad it does for you, because I have no idea who that is.
But what does that have to do with what we're doing?
Well, I don't know, maybe the person coming from Two Mage Turn has something to do with it beyond, oh, they're a rat killer. They're a rat hunter.
Yes, this trade agreement sounds quite in their favor from what Francisco said. If we know that it's someone causing the rats to be like this, maybe it's someone who has something to gain from getting rid of them.
It's all going over my head.
It's very late and we've been walking through the desert. I don't know if it's actually late, that's...
It was like 11 when we started to
Okay.
go out.
Well,
It's late enough.
the thought that I have is if we kill all the rats, then there's no rats left to curse, right?
Varus.
If we find all of the children and also kill all of the rats in the entire protectorate, yes. But I think that's a little far off from our mission.
The rats' children.
Yeah, I did not make that connection about the rat children. I was
No,
really
we
worried.
kill
I was-
the children.
I
All
was
of
like,
the
we're
children.
not killing the children.
Inira.
And Ira is actually chaotic evil.
We're not killing the children.
I think Inira might be very tired.
I think
and
the rat's moment.
There was a big rat.
Okay,
And
we're
I talked to it.
going back to the inn.
And it heard
Yeah.
music. It heard the music.
It was under the stage. There was a performance going on.
Well, maybe that was a spell.
You don't. I don't know, but
I think we
Something
should
to keep
just
in mind.
let someone else deal with this. We don't have time for this shit. We're going to have a sleep.
But we've already started. Well, I guess we started both.
This sounds like a whole thing. This sounds like more than just a few hours of an endeavor.
This sounds like a plot point that would take. It's worth to keep in mind. Maybe we don't stay here and handle it, but
Well-
we're in Haversteep and here are giant rats eating people's houses.
I mean, it sounds like someone else is coming to help with it, so...
I
Exactly.
mean, we at least need to
we
make
found
sure that
something out
like
for them.
they know it has a curse.
It's magic, yeah. We could at least find Francisco and tell him.
We can
Yeah,
tell
that's
it's
not
not-
natural.
Francisco in the morning. But for now,
Yeah. Sleep.
rest.
I honestly don't know if I want to sleep at the moment. But after seeing that,
I can show us things that are nice.
that'd be very appreciated.
I'm gonna silent image just a plate of spaghetti in my hand and stare at it
Of
for
course.
5 minutes.
Therapy.
It's been a hot second since you've mentioned spaghetti.
Okay.
Well, let's go back to the inn and I can do this for the rest of you all.
Oh,
Delightful. Maybe some tea and we go to bed.
Okay.
Sleep.
To the end.
You head back to the inn, and neither Francisco nor Beth are out. It seems like the whole town goes to sleep at the same time. There's no guards on watch. There's no night workers. All of the lanterns have been put out. Everything is just off. It seems like this town is shut down for the night. There's one candle left burning on the bar for when you guys come into the inn, and that's the only thing that's on. So you head into the downstairs bar portion, head up the stairs, which you haven't been yet, and see it's really one big room. It's not individual rooms, it's just one big room with a bunch of curtains between the beds. So
Possible.
you all can do whatever you want with that. It's just a nice big open space. There's 5 or 6 beds in there, and one that definitely is not a bed, but it's definitely made to look like a bed. It's 2 boxes put together real close. So they're trying, Apparently this is a big visiting time of year. But you all head in, and you have the night ahead of you. If anyone wants to do anything, say anything, that's fine. Otherwise, we can move on to the next day.
If anyone asks Varus, he'll silent image something for them to help clear their mind of disgusting rats.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So, otherwise, the night passes without issue. You all have a very lovely sleep. It's nice to be in a place that is so homey and comfortable and friendly, and just very wholesome feeling, especially compared to what you all have been going through the past few months. We'll say months. So, but you have a nice, nice restful evening. In the morning, you wake up. You did go to bed around midnight or so. You wake up around 8 in the morning, between 7 and 8, and everyone is able to get together, get their stuff done. The town is up and working. Most everyone works out in the field, so they keep farming hours. So up, crack of dawn, out working hard. But as you head downstairs, you see Beth behind the counter, who just kind of nods at you, and anything for breakfast?
Oh, well, what do you have ready?
We got some oatcakes, if you like that.
I'd love an oat cake.
Me as well.
All right, would you need any for your journey?
I think we're all
You all have
right.
consumed about 5 days worth of rations.
I'll take how much would it be for 20?
20 oatcakes. Maybe, for 20, that's some tough math there. 40 silver.
Oh, well. What's
gold.
what's the 4 gold? Okay.
Oh, sorry, 2 gold.
2 gold. All right. And
Wait, what did I say? 40 silver? That's 4 gold.
I'm like,
10 to each, whatever 10 times the thing is.
Yeah.
So if I said
I'll
40,
give
then
her
it's 4.
6.
I'm like,
Okay.
it's a
I'll give
welcome
her
account.
6
Their
gold.
conversion rates are different. I don't know. They're vibing.
Okay. You give her 6, and she looks at you just stunned, like, oh, thank you so much. You're incredibly generous. This will provide for us for quite some time.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We had a wonderful time here.
Oh, the performance was great last night, wasn't it?
It was. I was wondering, well, 1, take as much time as you want making those oat cakes, and 2, if you knew where your husband Francisco was?
Well, Francisco's out at the McClendon's farm. They had some problem last night with the rats. Dreadful things they are.
Only we got there.
Yeah.
Well, he's spoken with us a wee bit on the rats, and we just wanted to check in with him.
Oh, are you helping out?
Oh, we might. We don't know yet.
I know you traveling types are usually on your way to fight some big evil or to save the world or something, but I hope that we might get some help here. I don't trust that man from Two Mage, but they say he's the best, so I guess I'll trust the others.
Well, why? I'm curious. Why don't you trust him?
Well, I'm sure if you talk to Francisco, he asked a high price. It might be a little more than I think we should pay.
Right.
Out of
Well, we'll see if we
curiosity,
can do anything.
I appreciate
How
that.
much-
Thank you.
How much did he ask? We can maybe help with that.
Well, I wasn't aware of the specific dealings, but Francisco has told me it was an exclusive trade deal. He wants a percentage of our annual produce.
I can't help with that. Never mind.
We do produce a lot here. Halliston is kind of the major supplier for a lot of the larger cities, especially Galston. So they need us a lot. Well, I don't want to keep you. I have the oatcakes here already. I can pack these up for you. And she packs up 20 in a bag for you. And it's a nice, little bag. And she ties a sweet little bow on it. It's all heart-shaped. And gives it to you. And then for the rest of you, she just puts out one each for the rest of you. And they're good. As soon as you bite into it, it's like, think of those oatmeal cream pies, but with a honey connecting the oats together. So it's really sweet, so good. Yeah. Just melt in your mouth.
I want one.
Yeah. They're really, really good. But you've got those.
Is wonderful.
Oh, it's simple. You just take. Here, I can write down the recipe for you.
Oh, I cannot.
I'll take it.
She writes it down, and it really is. She just has 4 things on there. It's like oats, honey, sugar, and then some item you've never heard of. It's like calcithan.
Mm-hmm. What is this thing here on the bottom? I don't even know if I can say that.
Oh,
What is that?
Oh, that's they grow on the flowers out here. You got to go and harvest them when they're ripe. Well, fresh or fertile or whatever you want to say. And you got to squeeze them tight between 2 bricks usually. That's the way I like to do it because they're nice and heavy and flat. And the oil that comes out, that's what you use to bind it.
Oh. Do you have any extra of that we could take with us? Or I could buy from you?
No. I'm sorry, but I've got to keep these for our own produce here.
No, it's alright.
But if you can find some out, they grow all over the plains here, if you can find some.
Oh,
It's a yellow flower, it's got a stem and maybe 18 or 20 buds at any given time.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes out, thank you.
Of course. The petals have 4. There are 4 petals on the flowers. If they have 5, they'll kill you. 4 petals.
4 petals.
4.
Got it.
Write that one down.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
4 petals.
The number
but-
of fingers on Kanan's left hand.
Not the right hand. The left hand.
Oh.
That's. I hope you say that in.
Hold up that hand.
That is like.
It's like 4. Oh no.
Alright, well, if you want to catch up with Francisco, you better go now. He tends to move about town quite a lot. I think he's running for mayor this year. We're pretty excited.
Oh.
But don't tell anyone. It's kind of a secret.
Oh.
If you're running for mayor, don't people have to know or they won't vote for you?
It's kind of, we don't want anyone to know just yet. But I figure you're from out of town, so we can tell you it's no problem.
All right, I'll keep my mouth shut.
I appreciate that.
We have a swell day and we'll be off.
You better be off, safe journeys.
Thank
May
you.
the shepherd guide you.
Thank you.
What do you say in response to that?
And also,
also
as
with
well.
You get the sense. So you've heard that phrase before in Latchrier, right? You heard it last night, or the night, whatever night you were there. This is not the same. She doesn't say it with that kind of conviction. Those people are saying it like they think that there's a real person that is the shepherd. This woman, you get the sense she's likely referring to the shepherd that was in the play last night. So just a legendary kind of, figure, guiding figure.
Harriet will nod her quarterstaff in her direction as we go off.
Okay. All right, so you exit out into the town, and it's pretty dead in town, honestly. Most everyone is working. The whole stage area has been cleaned up. You see all the shop stalls are there, but they're just like folded down and packed up. Nobody's like actually watching the stalls. You don't really see any people around. You see one group of school kids. They're maybe like between 8 and 12 years old, all playing on one of the playgrounds, being watched by 2 adults. But that's pretty much it in town. Are you heading over to McLennan's farm, or are you heading to just out of town, or?
McClendon's farm, I think.
Okay, just want to be sure.
Want to at least tell
let
them
know.
that it's magical.
Okay, yeah, you head out of the town, hang a left, and head down the main street, and it only takes you a few minutes to get there. And you see there's 8 or 10 people kind of gathered around. Everyone's standing around talking, and it's a bunch. It's all the men talking, and they're very much like, we're not gossiping, but they're definitely gossiping kind of attitude. And they're just talking. As they see you approach, a few of them kind of wave at you, and then you hear one say, "Oh well, we better get back to work, huh?" And they head off, and then you overhear Francisco talking with somebody else. You're not sure, and he says, "You know, I just don't think these damn things are natural. They can't be. There's no way. Something put these things up to this. Something made them like that. Look at it. Just look at it." And the other guy says, "Look, I know, Francisco, but we got the guy coming in from Two Mage. It's gonna be fine. Just don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine." And that's as you approach.
Well,
Hayden's
certainly not
gonna look at
natural.
Anira and just be like, "Do you want to tell him?"
Good morning, Francisco.
Francisco.
Our visitors, good morning. It's great to see you. Did you happen to look around last night? I know you mentioned that you were thinking about it.
Yes, good news. The rats are cursed.
Cursed.
So it's not natural, it's magical.
Immediately, he just slugs the guy next to him and says, "See, I told you, not natural." The guy starts rubbing his shoulder like, "All right, okay, you're right." So, what do we do? What is a curse? How do you even do that?
Hopefully the lad from Two Mage Turn, if Two Mage Turn lives up to its name, will be able to help you all with that. We really can't do much, but figure it would be good for you to know what you're dealing with.
I appreciate that. I hope it's not one of the 2 mages, because frankly, those guys are more trouble than they're worth. But
Well, we were able to treat one with like a remove curse spell, if you know people that know that.
Yeah, it's Darius.
Wouldn't recommend holding it while you do, though.
No.
They just kind of turn back to normal rats then.
I see.
Well,
With all the extra flesh, just
Coming right
Yeah.
off, huh? Does it look
Yeah,
like that?
just-
And he points down at one on the ground. That his stomach has burst open, and you see a bunch of chicken feathers sticking out.
Yep, exactly like I just hate. Okay. Exactly like that, yes.
Pretty gross, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, maybe if McLennan here had got a dog like I told him to, we wouldn't have had the problem. As you're looking
Magical
around,
dog.
Zarius, you notice, in averting your eyes from the rat, you notice that under the coop is the soil looks really like moldy and blackened and kind of like rotten almost.
Francisco,
Yeah.
there's something. So the soil here, is this normally like this? Is this here under the chicken coop? And he'll sort of get down and point at it.
McClendon goes over and says, "Well, now that you mention it, no, that's... Hang on a second." He just reaches down and starts digging out a bunch of this soil, and it's like, it's gross, sort of moldy, rotten soil. And as he keeps pulling it out, he ends up scraping out a large bone. It's about the same size as the one you saw under the stage. And he just, picks it up in his hand, and he's like, What is this? Is this part of the curse? How does this work? What is this?
We
But
did see
the
one
soil
last night.
under the stage.
Yeah.
Now that it's out in daylight, would I be able to maybe recognize?
Yeah, make
what
a nature
kind
check.
Of? Not even like specifics.
Actually,
just what kind.
make a medicine check.
Okay, I have to get my sheet. Not battle royale.
Battle Royale.
Medicine. Wisdom based.
19. You definitely recognize it. It's a bone of a human child.
Cool.
Looks like
Cool,
maybe a shin
cool.
bone or like a forearm bone. They're not older than 12 or 13.
I will keep that information to myself for a little bit.
Okay.
Good.
Oh.
Does Anira make any like visible expression at learning that?
Probably a little bit of like a gasp, not like an audible.
Okay.
You know, like in like RPGs when the character gasps,
Yeah.
there's no sound, but it's just like
Yeah.
it's like very barely, probably.
Well, Zarius, I think
Okay.
you would definitely notice that because your passive perception is
Yeah.
a
He
billion.
was just kind of trying to like. Obviously, he wouldn't know what it means, but it means something, and she's not saying it. So there's
Yeah.
in present company, there's something that's can't be said. Is what he's put together from that.
Is this bone like part of whatever spell it was on, whatever curse?
Surprise.
Might have been.
Taking Kanan, all the
There are-
information went over
Yeah.
her head, so
There are spells
she'll
that
just be like,
require
what? Is it like a
components.
cow bone? I hear they can have kind of magical powers.
Vagabonds have magic?
You know, the
Any
old
bones?
ladies sometimes get together and they throw bones down. And they try to tell the weather or the crops by it, but it never works. They're just old kooks.
Okay.
But they usually use like
these-
bird bones or those kinds of
Do you-
things.
Do you have spots? You said you'd found other nests and such. The soil around there, was it similar to this?
It was black like this, yeah. It was all rotted and worn out.
Were there bones there too?
I didn't really dig around a lot. We found them and smashed them up in there and then just lit the thing on fire, so
Would
could be anything in there now.
these be normal places you would have buried things as a town?
Not that I can think of, no. There was one outside of town by that big oak tree. They dug under the roots of there and kind of, it's nice and cozy in there. There was one over on the off corner, kitty corner to the clock tower on the other side. It's just a old signpost, and someone put it under there. There was another one. It was you see him just like trying to think, and as he's thinking about this stuff, is kind of like putting together a few things as well. You see his mind kind of working, and he says, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He says, "Oh, now that I think about it, over in Ven's house, they had he lives next to the graveyard, so it's not a big plot, but there was one over by the kind of in the corner there. This willow had kind of grown and hung over, and the roots had dug in. He'd really should have taken that thing out 5 or 10 years ago at this point, but anyway." Down in the corner there, the roots had grown under the stone wall, and there was a big cluster of this stuff there. But again, we just burned it. We smashed them all up in there and then burned it.
I don't remember if you've told us, has anyone gone missing?
No, we keep pretty good track of people here. Nobody's gone missing.
Has anything else strange been going on? I mean, random bones showing up into your chicken coop. Has someone been sneaking around? Someone new in town?
Not that we've seen, but well,
Could be burying bones.
you were here last night, right? You saw that we all pretty much go to bed at the same time. We don't really. It's a safe place, It's a safe, nice community. We don't really have need for guards or even police.
It might be worthwhile to establish like a rat watch, if you will.
Rat watch. Okay.
Some people to watch, keep track of things.
You know, we'll talk to the elders. That's a good idea. We'll talk to the elders and see if we can get a night watch going. Maybe just 1 or 2 people. Think that'll be enough?
Start, that's what
Just
we do
start.
when we're traveling.
Capable people, someone capable of dealing with a rat or two.
Well,
But
Greg is
yeah.
pretty good. He's our best fighter. He wins all the bar fights, and he used to be a soldier, so we can ask
Well.
him.
There you go. That's definitely a good idea.
Yeah, we'll ask Greg.
I'm just
How are
glad
your
that you have someone coming to look at it.
What was that? Sorry.
I'm just glad that you have someone coming to look at it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's I just hope it's worth it.
Can I ask a question about your elders?
Yeah.
I
of course.
don't know much. Are they voted in, or how do you decide them? I don't yeah.
Well, I don't want to bore you with all the inner workings of our political system, if you can call it that.
That's all right.
But yeah, once a person reaches 65, they get fully gray hair, is what we call it. Once they get 65, they can be picked for the elders, the council board, if you want, the council. But not everyone goes on it. Some people choose not to. Some people choose to not enroll themselves for election, and then it's just generally a general assembly. But if an elder denounces someone, if they say they can't serve as an elder, then they're disbarred. They can't be elected to it. So, but it's pretty much everyone has a fair shot. And lots of people don't want to bother. They want to spend their time with their grandkids. But occasionally, people have kids that move away, and others that there are accidents that happen. Sometimes people die. It happens everywhere, and so they just want to work and serve the community that way.
All right. So they're actual elders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they could serve on for about another 20 or 30 years if they got a long life.
Is the elder group, rule kind of together, or is there someone head elder, something?
Well, there's 13, so they have to have a majority decision for everything. There's no one leading member.
All right.
The eldest. There's just one guy, 130 years old Chuck.
Well, this certainly seems like something for them to be aware of, if they're not.
I'm sure they've already heard about it by now. Gossip spreads in this town like wildfire.
Yes, but the soil might be something to watch out for. We don't know if it happens before or after, during, but it might be an indicator of where they're going to be.
I'll make sure to tell him. That's something I hadn't noticed. I'll make sure to tell him that. Maybe that'll be enough to convince him to do something about it now rather than later.
Maybe, we can take care of as many of these as possible in the next half a day and then be on our way.
Yeah.
If you'd like, we'd really appreciate that. Really mean a lot. I can't really pay you, but
Oh, no.
Fine. We got some good oat cakes. So,
Yeah.
oh, from my wife, yeah, those are great, huh? That's how I got this.
Could
And he
give us
slaps his
another
belly.
couple of those. Give us another couple of those, and we'll call it good.
All right, I'll talk to her about it. We'll see what we can do. I appreciate you finding out anything you can. It really means a lot.
Yeah. Well, if we could have a moment to talk.
Sure, I got to get back to work
We'll just-
anyway, and McClendon's got to he's got to find some more chickens. So
Can I see that bone?
sure, yeah. He hands it over.
Just gonna hold on to it for now.
If you want you can have the rest of the rat too if you want.
I'm good.
Maybe next time.
Let's.
We'll find plenty, apparently, if we're successful.
Rodents are so disgusting.
We'll see what we can figure out, and we'll let you know.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I better head out, and then he, gives McLennan another handshake and heads out. And McLennan, you see, grabs he goes inside and grabs an oil canteen, goes and pours some oil on the rat there and lights it on fire. But yeah, so you all have the rest of the town to explore if you'd like. You can, try to find some more rat nests, or you can move on. It's up to you.
Yeah. Once they're out of earshot, Zaris will sort of turn to Anira and be like,
What was it, Anira?
What was what?
Yes.
There was something you noticed.
It was just a bone.
A bone of? What were you gasping about a bone?
I don't really know. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Don't really know why. It's bones are bones, right?
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, and Ira, make a deception check.
Yeah.
I feel like Zaris, I'm conflicted on insight checking that because I don't think he would be expecting her to lie to him.
She's visibly.
I'm like, yeah, Harriet would be like,
Like-
why would Naira be lying about it?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a passive insight, but
There
it's
is, yeah.
Zaris wouldn't.
Well,
Zaris wouldn't
Jean
be,
and Kanan have had a
actively-
little beef on the way, so.
True.
Sure, yeah, Kanan, you see right through. You definitely know Anira's withholding something about it. She's not being fully truthful.
Anira, you can talk to us. I mean, is it like the bone of, I don't know, a dragon, and they're gonna come by and destroy the people?
It's a little small for a dragon.
Are we the only people in earshot right now?
Yeah.
Can I lean in close, and just she's very clear. She doesn't want to say it, but it's the bone of a child, a human child.
Oh.
And these rats are gnawing on them like they're nothing.
Well, I mean, I understand rats would do that, but how did it get there? Is there any more of this child there, or was it put there?
Let's keep digging and find out.
And according to Francisco, no one's gone missing, though with how this town acts, I wouldn't be surprised if they're charmed or cursed too.
Zaris is going to
That's just
start
happy,
digging.
Naira.
What?
Maybe that's just happy towns where people don't go missing all the time, and I'd move there.
Could be. It
It
could
doesn't
be.
have to be a cover-up. This
It could
is
be a child
suspicious,
from
but-
years ago, or from a town over.
Would I have been able, how aged? Would I have been able to tell how aged the bone was?
With the 19, yeah. It looks older. I mean, it's not petrified or anything like that, but you can start to see the lines of brittle wear on it along the long parts. So it's definitely old. It's older than probably anybody living in the town now.
Zaris is going to dig for more bones.
Or maybe, I don't know, maybe not quite that old, but it's at least 10, 20 years old. Yeah. You're digging for bones right in this guy's backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Next to the flaming rat that's there.
Yep. He's actually going to try to cover the rat in dirt so he doesn't have to smell it as much anymore.
All right.
Like
Go ahead
burning,
and
rotten.
we'll say make either athletics or investigation, your choice.
We'll do athletics.
17, pretty good. And you're just digging around in the backyard, or are you digging under the coop?
In the specifically the dirt that's weird.
Okay, so you dig out under the coop. You get a good ways down, and there's a lot of rat droppings, but mostly the soil up to 2 feet down is just this same moldy, rotten soil. There's no other bones or anything in there, but after that, it's just back to normal dirt.
It's odd.
So, I mean, my question from earlier still stands. Is the magic cast on the bone?
Well, we have it here. Let's find out. Can I?
I can't tell if there's magic on the bone.
Can I see if there's any like weird markings on it, just at a glance?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
I'll help. I'll look at it with you.
Okay.
I'll
Definitely gonna need it.
examine it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this would be
You
a
got that
detect
in
magic
just
moment.
in time. Yeah, really. That's the spell that it's
Yeah.
for.
I don't have that.
Me neither.
I could dispel magic.
Oh, are we doing? I'm sorry.
No.
You're already distracted.
Varus, go ahead and roll again.
Oh.
'Cause you
Yeah,
got
advantage.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
19. Okay.
Much better.
You give it a good look over, and you don't see anything, any like symbols or any kind of like sigils on it. Sigils, maybe, by some people would say. You don't
Squiggles?
see any kind of like purposeful markings on it. But you get the sense about something. Go ahead and make an Arcana check. Actually, for you, it'd be charisma. Just make a straight charisma check.
Charisma.
15. Because that's your magic ability.
Yeah.
You're looking it over, and you just feel it. You don't know quite what it is, but you just feel something with this. It's definitely a component or some kind of, used in some kind of magic of some. Yeah, you feel it in your bones. My goodness.
You feel it in their bones.
So
Thiebo.
yeah, you don't know what it is, but there's definitely some kind of essence to it.
Enough to
Feel that, Kanan? Like that there's something there. Can you feel that? Or is that just me? Am I going crazy?
I feel like I know the next spell I'm gonna take in Bard.
I don't
You
know
got
what
that from
means.
feeling a bone?
There's definitely some sort of like it has the stuff, like
Yeah.
Make a general
Well, let's see
intelligence
if
check.
this
Varus.
helps.
Guys,
general intelligence.
I thought detect
One.
magic.
Yes.
I thought detect magic was a higher level spell, so I was looking at like the 3rd level. I do have it. And it's prepared.
Ooh.
I'm just a dumb. I was like, detect even good.
We haven't rescued Apollodex's brain yet. It's okay.
Sirius will cast detect magic on the bone.
Okay. Hands
Oh
covered
my
in
God.
moldy, rotten soil, stained black from the dirt.
Yeah.
Zarius
He'll be
pulls
like,
out the
"Wait,
components to
Why am I
cast.
doing this?
What are we doing, guys?
So yeah, Zarius will, I guess, give me like 10 minutes. Well, give me 12 minutes. I'm gonna go wash this off. And then he'll cast detect magic.
Okay. Is there any kind of flavor you have for casting detect magic or no?
Not really. He's probably just sitting there, like, kind of concentrating on the bone.
Okay. You cast detect magic, and your eyes start to, perceive at that extra level. And the bone immediately gives off a resonance of magical energy. It's definitely necromancy. And as you look around, you see the soil underneath the coop is also necromantic energy.
Is there a way to tell? I don't know. Probably not really. But is there a way to tell if it's like, I don't know what other word to use than active?
Oh,
Like, is there still like
yeah, you can
active
see,
magic
yeah, you can
flowing
see
out
that.
of it, or
Yeah, there is.
okay? Well, the bone and the soil are both definitely have necrotic energy to it.
One thing I'll say is the further the bone moves away, the dimmer the essence gets. So, like, if you bring the bone close to the dirt, it glows brighter.
It seems to be tied in strength with proximity to how close it is to the soil.
Can Zarius? I guess it's within 30 feet of him. Maybe not.
It lasts for 10 minutes, so.
Yeah, Zarius might like just walk around the field.
Okay.
And see if there's other like hot spots of magical necrotic energy in the ground.
Okay. You walk around this guy's place, and it's basically like the area that you're in now is kind of like an open yard almost. It has a small rock fence that's been built, a little henge, that was the chicken feeding area, right? It was just like a scratch area. And you walk around that pretty quickly. It only takes you a minute or two to do so. And there's nothing there that you see. It's just that spot under the coop.
Within sight, are there other, like, he's kind of noticing that they seem to be in kind of dark covered places, like under a chicken coop and under a stage, under a tree. Are there any other, like, visible landmark type things around, or is it just kind of this dude's house? Big
It's just
yard
this
for
guy's,
chickens?
I mean, yeah, it's this guy's house, and then you're just on the edge of town, so you can walk back in. The only thing you do notice is that as you come around to the pigsty area, it's all like muddy and torn up, and there's a bunch of pigs kind of rooting around. You do see that there is a fragment of a bone on the ground there, and a bunch of the soil has been like kicked up and mixed in with the dirt. That just gives like the tiniest tinge of a magical essence to it that you notice with your high passive perception.
So Zarius might... Is that like in the pig pen?
Oh yeah, it's in the pig pen, in the muck with them.
Zarius is about to get thrown around by a pig, but he'll go into the pig pen and try to grab the pig bone.
Okay. Yeah, you reach down. It's easy enough. The pigs kind of at first are spooked by you, so they run off to the other side. And then you reach down and grab the bone, and then the pigs are like, "Oh, this guy must be feeding us or something," and they all rush back towards you. So you got a moment to try to make it out if you want.
Yeah, Zarius will try to get out.
Make an athletics check real quick.
Oh boy!
This is how he goes out, mauled by pigs.
Please.
Nat 20.
Maybe not. He's scared of these pigs. He bolts the
one
fence.
hand, vaults over the wall, back out, and the pigs just come out and start rooting and snorting at him. But you've got this fragment of a bone, and it looks like it was crunched and crushed up by the pigs. So it was eaten by the pigs, is what you gather.
Magic pigs.
Oh no. Is there a particular pig in...
It doesn't look like any one particular one has anything. But the basic conclusion that you get from it is that whatever did this or whatever happened or anything like that, the pigs probably rooted it up and just ate the bone that was buried there.
Okay.
Because pigs eat bones. That's what they do.
Yeah. Criminal Minds taught me that.
Yeah, me too. That's
Hannibal taught
exactly
me
what I
that.
was thinking of.
I'm
Nothing
scarred
but
from
the
those episodes of
shoes.
Hannibal.
Well, there was another bone that's giving off the same energy, but it looks like the pigs ate it.
Oh,
So
the pig
do
is
we
gonna...
send the pigs around town to
Here's
find all
what's
the
left.
bones?
Is the pigs eating them a good idea?
I don't really sense anything from the pigs at the moment, but I don't know enough about this magic to say one way or the other.
I mean, that last rat that we saw last night was eating that bone, and we saw what happened to it.
But I think it was already like that when it was eating the bone, wasn't it?
The rat?
You know?
That is a good point. We don't know.
Well, Inara, you said the rat was only talking about food. Now, I think pigs are like that anyways, but I've never spoken to one. So maybe you can see if they're food obsessed or not?
Ask them maybe where they found this bone, how it got there.
Didn't Francisco say that they were eating, like, buildings too, though?
Yeah.
So the
I
pigs
think-
would just eat their way out of their cage if
I
they
would-
were.
I
That's a
would
good
say
point.
a lot of you can like. I would consider bone a food because you can boil it down to make a stock, or no, there are uses. It's an animal product that animals do eat, or a human product in this case. But humans are animals, are we not? We're not humans. What am I saying?
Why did you just say we?
I'm not a human. None of us are humans, but you know the general humanoid. Anyway, that was Sky being. I don't know. I could try talking to the pigs, but I'm sure they would just talk about food and being a pig.
It's more like if anyone came and tried to bury a bone in their
That would be good to talk
sty,
about, yes.
home, sty.
I think
Isn't-
sty sounds
I think it's
good.
sty for pigs, right?
Isn't pigsty
area of pig?
a
Oh, my
derogatory
word.
term?
You know, that'd be a question for a pig.
I think it is when you're not a pig, but I think pigs enjoy styes.
I'll walk over to the pigs and cast speak with animals.
Okay. You can't speak with
What
animals,
is
and
this?
immediately you hear the pigs all arguing over who's the roundest. And so they're all snorting about it.
Definitely
Which
that
one of them
one.
is the
Beauty standards
roundest?
be hitting the pigs hard these days.
We're here
Yeah.
for a day of Dr. Doolittle and Charlotte's Web.
What is this?
It's good.
Is and I'm sorry again, Sky brain fog.
You're good?
They're actively eating a bone.
No, that already happened. There's just a fragment of the
Okay.
bone left that Zarius noticed because of the detect magic.
Okay. I will walk over like, hey friends.
Who do you think is the roundest? Be honest.
Well, I would have to say that one, and I'll point to whichever one is. How many pigs are there?
It's like 30 pigs.
Okay, I will point to. Okay. I'll point to the sixth from the left.
Okay. You pointed at a pretty round one. It's definitely not the roundest, but it's round. And you
That's
see
round.
it. You see it kind of turn to the side, turn to the other side, and then say "see," and then flop around and roll around in the mud. And then afterwards, all the other ones are like, "Yeah, whatever. You're just puffing her up." And afterwards, it's done rolling around. It comes over to you. Well, thank you for saying that. What's your name?
Yes. And Ira, what's yours?
And Ira, my name's Betsy.
Betsy. That's a lovely name.
I think so.
I noticed that bone fragment there. Are you all feasting on bones?
You saw a bone? Where's the bone fragment? I could go for a bite.
Zarius, do you have that bone fragment?
Yes.
We hold it
Did
up.
you, Betsy? Do you know the rest? If there was the rest of the bone there?
Let me sniff it.
Zarius, let us sniff it.
Let the pig sniff the. Okay.
And I'll just hold it down.
Don't eat it.
It
We need
immediately
that.
goes up and just. You see its snout all moving back and forth, and right away it tries to just mouth over your fingers. It's not trying to bite your fingers off, but it just goes to like eat the bone and pull it from your hand. Do you let it go?
No. Betsy,
No,
Betsy.
he'll try to pull it back.
Okay, all right.
But he's
Betsy,
not
no.
gonna he's not gonna risk being bit by a pig for
Yeah.
a fragment of a bone.
You
So
you pull it back, and there's just slobber all over your hand. But Betsy says, "Well, that was rude, teasing me with that." But yes, I know the bone.
Where'd it come from?
I don't know. Maybe give me some corn husks. I can tell you.
I can offer berries.
What are berries?
They're really sweet little orbs. They're quite delicious.
All right, give me a berry.
Okay, I
That
will.
was like rotted.
No, I'm gonna cast Good Berry.
Okay.
First level. It's my last first. For the first time, I've used all of my first level
What are we
spells.
doing?
I will give her some good berries.
All right, you give the
Eating
pig some good
pigs.
berries, and it just inhales these things and says, "My, those are quite good. I feel better already. Yes, I could tell you where the bone was. Some guy came here a couple weeks ago. He tried to bury it here. He had some awful hood on, and I just wasn't sure what to make of it. But, Jeff and Frank, they got together. They ate the bone pretty quickly. I was surprised there was still that fragment left.
Good for... Have you noticed anything weird about Jeff and Frank since they ate the bone?
No. They're
They've
actually
just
looking
been-
mighty handsome.
Cool. Did you... This is both Sky and Anira being awkward as fuck. Did you... I'm sure you don't really recognize features, but did you see any feature other than the hood? Like stature, like how tall?
Well, he came at nighttime, so I couldn't see too much. But he was pretty tall for one of you two-legged types, and he had this black hood and kind of covered up his face and made it hard to see. But I'll tell you, he smelled like, well, to be honest, he smelled a little bit like beer.
We have a drunkard on our hands. A drunkard who buries bones. Well, Zarius, do we need the bone fragment?
And he had a stick.
A stick?
Yeah.
What kind of I'm not. I can't
What?
talk to pigs.
There is out his
I can't
language
talk to pigs.
speaking pig.
What kind of
Well, it was a, I don't know, it was a smooth stick. It wasn't like a stick from a tree. It was like a stick that, you people do stuff with sometimes.
I'll pull my quarterstaff off my back like this?
No, it wasn't that big. It was small.
Oh. Huh. Did you notice? I mean, I'm sure it was dark, and you're already giving me so much information. Thank you, Betsy, by the way.
Well, these
But
berries
did you-
are pretty good. They really help my memory.
Well, if I can come by tomorrow and bring you some more if you'd like.
Of course.
But did you notice anything about the stick at all?
The pig is gonna make an intelligence check.
Cool.
Pull through, Betsy, my round queen.
Okay.
I
Is
love
Anira
the-
speaking like common to this pig?
I think the
And
way
the
it
pig is
works.
understanding,
oinking
or
at
are
the
you like
pig?
speaking pig? Because I know you have those two options.
Yeah. So up to you, Naira.
I picture it like she's speaking common, and the animals are just talking back in like snorts.
Okay.
So everyone else
Okay.
just hears snorts, and Anira is just like, "You don't say." Like that's really interesting.
Well, Anira, I have some oat cakes the pig might like. I've heard some talk of food.
Does it want
You-
the bone?
We're talking. What did you see about that?
Well, the stick was round. Well, I guess most sticks are round. But it was like like it had a hole in it.
It had a hole in it?
Yeah.
A stick with a hole. Now you've confused me.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it
what
was
I
dark.
saw. I don't know what to tell you. It's a stick with a hole in it.
I'm not doubting your memory. One of my friends here has offered up an oat cake, if you would like an oat cake.
Is it one of Beth's oat cakes?
Yes.
I can't eat that.
Why not?
It'll go right to my thighs, and she holds her mouth open for one.
Cannon, toss me one. Oh, I guess I have one. I'll just give her one of mine.
Okay. She just crunches it up, eats it really quick. My, those are quite delicious. I ate a whole bush of those flowers once.
How did you feel after?
I've been better. But it was worth it.
Anira, does
There
it
is.
want this bone? Because I certainly don't.
Do you want this bone? Because he certainly doesn't.
Yes, I want the bone. I'll eat it.
So
Yes,
we'll
she wants
toss-
the bone, she'll eat it.
I'll just toss the bone in there.
Yeah, just catches it, eats it real quick.
Well, I'll leave you to your existence. Can I pat your head?
Of course.
I will pat the head
Okay.
very gently.
Gotta make Jeff jealous.
Make a Constitution
She
save.
kind of like rubs her head up against your hand, and then snorts and struts off around the pen.
Oh.
I will turn to Zarius and turn back to the group and walk to them.
All right. You head back. You still
So-
hear the pigs arguing over who's the roundest, but
Okay. Real quick, I picked one of the pigs at random that was the roundest. This sounds like crazy talk. Hear me out. I had to.
The one you were talking
Anyway.
to certainly wasn't the roundest.
I pointed at her. I don't know. She was nice. Her name was Betsy. But so Betsy saw there was a man who tried to bury a bone. He was wearing a hood. He smelled like beer, and he had a round stick with a hole in it. That's what she gave.
Like an
stick with a-
instrument?
Oh,
Well, I mean, if he's a necromancer and he's burying bodies, if this is the same guy.
Or a straw. It could be a straw.
maybe he's sucking the life out of the ground.
Not the vampire with the straw divided around the town.
A stick? No, I didn't ask. Is the stick like vertical? I guess you couldn't see through
I-
the hole in it.
I feel like that's not the highest concern. So but we know
Would you
there's
need a
someone.
gun?
What?
Like your gun, Harriet, is like a stick with a hole in it.
Why would it?
Anyway,
I'm just coming up with ideas.
did the pig say roughly how long ago this was?
Shit! And she'll turn around and go back to the pig. If she
Okay.
can still talk to them.
yeah, you can still
Betsy.
talk to him.
Betsy, psst, come here.
She turns around. Oh, you got more berries?
I can bring you more tomorrow. I just have one quick question I forgot to ask you.
Promises don't make friends, sweetie.
I can give you another oat cake.
She turns back, and then at the mention of an oatcake, she turns back around and trots over real quick.
I will give her
Go
an
our
oat cake.
rations.
I'll buy more. I have gold. It's fine.
I have so many.
Zarius will cast create food and water and give him the goat cakes.
I forgot to ask. How long ago did you see the man with the stick with the hole in it?
Well, let's see here. It was 38 feedings ago.
Feedings. Do you generally get fed every day, or?
Yeah, sometimes twice a day.
Cool. Well, I'll pat her on the head again. And thank you, Betsy. And turn around back to the group.
She goes back and says, I got an oatcake. One of Beth's oatcakes. And she just goes back and starts the jealous,
Oh boy. She's not the most rotund and she got an oatcake. I'll turn back 38 feedings ago.
You're still speaking pig. Can you translate for us?
That's, I asked to clarify, and she said sometimes they get fed once to twice a day.
Would Farmer McClendon, did I get the name right?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
We could
Did
ask him.
Farmer,
I mean,
would he know how many feedings ago that was? And then we could maybe ask someone in the town.
he would know. I mean, maybe we don't ask how many feedings ago was 38 feedings, but just a lot of people don't respond to me talking about the animals. I'm surprised you all do.
It is
I've
not
done
the
weirdest
top
thing we've-
10 weirdest
Yeah.
things I've seen today.
Well, today
would-
maybe.
Voss is pretty weird.
Can't
It would be
argue with
worth an
that.
ask.
You should have seen what I woke up to this morning.
What?
What?
We're sharing a room, and he likes to try to surprise me whenever we wake up.
With, like, what? Spaghetti?
Yeah. Oftentimes.
Just, yeah.
Inside check!
Just a couple times there's that fish statue thing. God. I keep thinking I'm waking up in a nightmare, but really it's just Vars.
Statue gets me.
I see that in my nightmares.
I see it when I wake up.
I don't know what it looks like. I just become it. I am blessed with ignorance.
That is the truest thing I have heard today.
But anyways,
So we could ask how many times they feed them in a day, and then
Like a
have
feeding
Darius do the
schedule.
math.
Darius did the math, we didn't remember what level detect magic was.
Hey, I just thought it was a better spell than a first level.
We get it, you're high level now and don't think about those things.
what is this, a high-level campaign?
What does that mean, Vars?
Fifth-level spells?
Can't beat a Rakshasa with an animal friendship.
Divine level.
But we didn't try.
We certainly tried.
We should have tried, damn it.
Matt,
I
we need
think-
to bring him back so we can try animal friendship.
Please don't. Don't tempt fate.
now.
Be quiet, George.
Aye, Captain.
Alright, so what's the plan?
It would be worth talking to the farmer. Also,
Are
this
we-
is what we're doing with our time now.
I'm like, are we doing this? Or I thought we were doing half a day.
I mean, we
speed
can't
kill
just
of these
leave
things.
something
It's
like
still
this
again?
alone.
There's
Someone
someone coming to fix it. We can definitely leave.
Who's asking for like all of the town's earnings? I mean,
So? They're all
That's what we
crazy
spent-
anyways.
We said
maybe
we'd spend
it's
half the
better
day
in
on
our
it.
hands.
Everything is better in our hands, and that's the problem.
Then let's take everything and do everything.
Why let other people extort the village when we can do it?
Whoa!
Let's let the village extort us.
There you go.
We don't want money, we just want oatcakes.
Takes a village.
Takes the village. We take the village.
Hold on. What?
I am
No,
ready
it's
to
good.
just drop this all and go. Someone's coming to solve this. We have bigger fish to fry, as they say. And frankly, I have no connection to any of these people. I don't care about any of them. They put on a good show last night, but that doesn't warrant all my time.
So
We said
what
we'd
if
spend half a day on it. It's like, what, 10 now?
I don't mind.
so we
doing
have 2 hours? What if we take the pigs and have them smell out all the spots?
that seems
I don't think that's worth our time.
2 hours.
And corralling
They listed
30
some of the
pigs.
spots where soil was, right?
Yeah.
Said the tree. I remember that one.
Specifically, maybe we should check out the graveyard.
And the graveyard.
That's the
Graveyard
one.
seems like a spot to check
Bones.
with
Graveyard.
this man we're dealing with that Anira and Betsy were talking
Betsy.
about.
We could split up
We could
and
ask
do it
him,
much quicker.
we could ask the farmer when we ask him how often he feeds the pigs if we can take Betsy on a walk.
I don't know if she wants to go on a walk.
That's a good point. Maybe we can carry. I'm not carrying. Never mind.
She isn't the most rotund, I'm sure.
No, but
Why are we taking a pig anyways? What's the point?
I don't know. Why
Maybe
not?
I'm
they'll find the bones. They
Can't
seem
Zarius
pretty-
do that?
Yeah,
Is
but it'd be
Darius
so
gonna
much
eat
better
the
for a
bones?
pig to do it.
Oh,
Darius
dear.
is not going to eat the bones.
Well-
No.
I heard
Just got that.
splitting us up. I'd like to go to the graveyard because that's something that I know how to do.
I'll go with you.
I'll come along.
Right? And then
I'll
Talking
speak
to
with the Farmer McClendon, and meet you guys at the graveyard.
Okay.
Split the party, yeah.
Do either of you, Harriet or Zarius, want to go with Kanan, or do you want to come look at dead people with us?
I feel
Oh,
that
what?
I should go to the cemetery so we can detect magic there.
All right. Harriet?
I guess I'll stick with Kanan, so we're not completely alone.
All right. We have a plan. Let's put it into action. We have 2 hours. 3, 2, 1, break.
And break.
What are we doing? Okay.
Split the
Alright.
party.
Who wants to go first?
I think I'll be quick and short.
Yeah, well, we're just gonna
Quick
go
and simple.
ask how often they feed the pigs, really.
All right.
Yeah.
And if we take
Everyone's
Betsy-
waiting until I finish eating these 3 myconites, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna run downstairs real quick.
I respect your snack choice, so I will wait.
Yeah, you gotta get the sour ones, and then the regular, like the mixed berry flavor, and then the 10 flavor one, and you mix them all together.
Wait, you are onto something.
You just mix all the flavors together.
Mike and I sponsor us, please.
My choice.
Canada
Dry.
Dry,
Shreds.
where are you?
We want snacks, guys.
Literally any food sponsor, really any
Food
sponsor for
company.
anything. I would
Help us
endorse
create
anything.
food
at
and
this point.
water. Sponsor
Food.
Baggage Claim.
I would
We are
endorse
hungry.
any sponsor, anyone. At this
Okay,
point,
Matt, you gotta
food?
be careful.
This episode
Help
of the
us be the
Vagabonds
most
brought to you by
rotund.
Raid Shadow
Okay.
Legends.
I would for sure do a Raid Shadow Legend sponsor. All right, back on point. Okay, so Harriet and Kanan are up first, talking to Farmer McClendon, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Old McDonald.
All right, so yeah, McClendon's out in the field nearby. He's it's a large, like a big cornfield, but you see him coming out of one side and starting to go in the other. But you're gonna have to shout or call out to him if you want him to stop.
Oh, Farmer McClendon.
He turns
And
back
Kanan will run.
runs super fast at him.
Harriet's like a mom after like tiny kid that just ran to the playground. Like,
I think we're like near the same height.
but
But
you
so
running
fast.
Like 6'6".
versus me running.
Anyway, Kanan, in the blink of an eye, is over in front of him. He's oh, you're pretty quick, aren't you? What's up? What can I do for you?
A friend of mine had some conversation with your pigs, and I was just wondering.
Are they enlightening?
Sorry. Quite
They seem nice.
enlightening.
You know, Betsy's got quite the attitude. You talk to her?
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't talk to her, and Ira did.
Oh, sure.
But-
Right. Yeah. You wouldn't do something like that. That's that crazy.
I don't have that ability.
I don't think anyone has that ability.
Anyways, they said they saw someone who put these bones in the area 38 feedings ago, and I was just wondering how many times you feed them in a day so we can guess when this person came by to curse the soil.
You know, maybe in the future you just ask with the how many times do you feed your pigs? Might be a. So all this is really weird, and I don't really know what to make of it. Are you trying to steal my pigs so you know how to take care of them?
No, I don't know how to take care of pigs. Animals don't like me. I've got these things, and she'll like flex her claws.
He just goes like, he kind of recoils a little bit. He's like, oh, all right. Well, sometimes they get fed once a day. Sometimes they get fed twice a day. It depends on how hot it is. If it's hotter, they work off more calories, so we gotta, get the food in them. Past month or so, it's been pretty temperate out here, aside from the past few days. So it's been once a day or so.
So this would be like 38 days ago?
It's somewhere around there, probably about a month ago, just to be safe.
All right. I hate to disturb your work. It just seems like this is really bothering your town, and I really only have 2 hours to help out because I told my team we'd leave in 2 hours. So
That's all right. You're just a little weird. It's fine.
I can be weird. I'm good with that. So was there a visitor at all a month ago?
Every
Anyone
now
who
and
was
then-
weird, who had a wood and a stick with a hole in it, and smelt like beer.
Every now and then we get travelers come through. They stop by the inn and stay for a night if they're on their way somewhere else. Sometimes people don't like to go on the main roads because they have to pay the taxes in New Calamon, and, well, no one really likes to go to Two Mage, but... So
Yeah,
sometimes
well-
they come across here.
And there haven't been any kids that have disappeared?
No.
Okay. It just seems that these bones that we're finding seem to be bones of kids.
What?
Oh shit, was that not a good thing to say?
These are
yeah,
children's
so-
bones?
Yes. So whoever's done this is cursing the land with the bones of kids.
Whoever's done this, we're gonna string up outside of town.
Well, I would hope so.
You could count on it.
But it's the only inn in town, right? So I
It's
can
the
run
only
over
one.
there and ask, Frederick.
Francisco.
Francisco. Francisco. About anyone who's been here a month ago?
You could ask anything you want, I suppose.
All right. Well, I'm gonna run off. When my friend Harriet catches up, tell her where I've gone. And Caden's gonna run off as fast as she can,
Okay.
yelling.
You weren't
like,
that
"Harriet,
far
I'm
away
off
from
to the
him."
inn."
I'm like, I'm not that slow. I got there.
Yeah, you're not that far off. I mean, you would have been there during most of the conversation, but yeah, okay.
Oh.
Kanan darts off.
Sorry, Harriet.
It's okay. You were doing your thing.
Harriet, you're left standing there with McLennan, and you both kind of look at each other awkwardly. It's like, well, going back to it.
Me too. She'll like start her jog.
Okay. All right. So we'll switch over to the other group. You make your way down through the town. You pass by Francisco. He's tending to stuff in the inn, setting up some tables outside in the market. But you head over to the graveyard area that he mentioned prior, and it's a nice little quiet graveyard. It's very respectful. It's very well taken care of. It seems the town has a really big reverence towards their ancestors and those kinds of things. Not like in a worshipful sense, but just they take care of them. Very respectful. It really isn't very big. It's maybe 100 feet on a side. It's really fairly small. And you see as you enter into it, they don't have burial plots so much as they have the gravestones, and then evidently they bury the ashes or something like that underneath. So it's just they'll have a whole family's worth of gravestones all kind of stacked next to each other, in a neat little row there. Across the top of it, they'll have the etching of their name and the year that they died. But you enter in there. You see in the corner, there's a spot that was burnt out where the willow tree was. The willow tree has since been cut down. You see some scorch marks on the side of the wall where they burnt, because they found that place and burnt it out. So, what would you all like to do?
Zarius is just going to go ahead and cast Detect Magic. He's not even going to do the ritual.
You're not going to dig around this time?
No.
Okay.
First will dig around.
Okay, so you cast Detect Magic, and you get that kind of extra sense in your vision, and you look around, and everything looks pretty normal. You see a little bit of almost like an echo, like a resonance of that necrotic or necromancy energy in the corner where it was burned out, but there's nothing active still there. As you walk around the grave sites, you notice as you get to the far corner that's right on the edge of what you would consider the city proper. It's right on the, if you just hopped over the wall, you'd be in the wilderness. You do see another spot that is that same kind of glow to it, of that necrotic energy.
Is it if I were to dig it up, would it look like I'm digging under someone's grave?
Yeah, it would.
Okay, so Zarius is not gonna do that.
Okay.
And he'll kind of call Varus and Anira over and be like,
So, there's another one of those magical hotspots here beneath us. I don't think we can just, might be a problem with just digging in.
Is there like a gravekeeper? Can I look around and see if there's like a person in charge?
Yeah, make a perception check. 23. You get a good look around, and there's nobody around. There's no building for it. You get the sense that whenever someone dies, it's their family that comes in and does all the work, and the town as a whole just takes care of the area.
Whose grave is it? Is it like a specific person?
Yeah, it's just a single grave. It's not like right on it. Like if you were standing in front of the gravestone, you see the name John Alfred across the top. And it's from like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And then maybe 5 feet to the right along the wall is that glow, but it's just close enough that if someone were just passing by and saw you, they would be like, oh, they're definitely digging up a grave. You're not. Yeah. It's not like you're right next to it or anything, but that's what it would feel like to someone watching. So,
maybe we should go get Francisco. Or a leader of some kind.
I could also make you invisible, and you could do it in secret. That would be funny.
I'm not even sure if I want to be the one to do it.
Well, I can turn invisible and be the one to do it.
I mean, it's pretty gross. It's still under my fingernails.
Yeah, maybe we should at least see if Francisco has a shovel then.
Get gloves? Like, something.
Do you want to message Francisco? Do we know where he is?
I can just do that.
Zarius will cast sending to Francisco. It is sending, yes, sending.
Yep.
And
hey, Francisco, this is Zarius. We're at the cemetery, and there seems to be one of these spots. I can't dig it up, it's a cemetery. Could you come here?
A moment passes and you hear Francisco's voice come in your head. How are you talking to me? What is happening? Beth, am I insane? Am I going crazy? I heard a voice say I need to go to the graveyard. I guess I'll go? The message ends.
Good.
So, maybe the voices told him to go to the graveyard. Maybe he's going, maybe not.
Zarius will give him you said we passed him on the way here, right?
Everything in town is only like a 10-minute walk away, so.
Zarius will give him roughly the amount of time it would take to walk.
Okay.
And if he's not here, he'll send him another message.
Okay. In the meanwhile, about this time, Kanan and Harriet, you would be approaching up into, I guess Kanan, if you're sprinting, you would get there a little faster, but I imagine you two are just going together, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to the center of town, and you see Francisco there kind of setting up some of these tables, getting things prepped in case people want to come in for lunch or maybe just for dinner there. And you see him kind of setting this stuff up. As he sees you approach, he says, oh, hey, good to see you. What's going on?
Hi. Just came from McClendon's farm. We have more information. We're kind of packed. We have I don't know, an hour and a half. But we have more information. Whoever's been soiling the soil, cursing the soil, I guess. They were here about a month ago. So I was wondering if there was anyone suspicious with a hood, and that smelled like beer, and that had a stick with a hole in it.
Well, a traveler that smells like beer is a pretty common occurrence here. We get a lot of drunkards.
Any straws or instruments or sticks with holes in them?
You know, I didn't see anybody that stands out to me, but I did come down with a pretty bad flu about a month ago. I was stuck bedridden for 4 or 5 days. I couldn't even leave the house.
Wow. Huh.
Hold on. How are you talking to me? What is going on? How is this happening? Beth, am I crazy?
You all right?
Voice is telling me to go to the graveyard. I guess
That's where the rest of our group is.
Oh,
They're looking for magic things.
One of them just talked in my head. I don't really know how that happened.
Oh,
but...
it's probably Zarius. He does that.
Okay, so you all are really weird, right?
Well, we
Yes.
have abilities like magic.
Oh my god, George.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go to the graveyard then.
You guys are weird, right? Oh, okay. I'll go.
What else is he gonna do? All right, so you all end up heading over to the graveyard. As you arrive, Varus and Ira and Zarius, you see the group come up along with Francisco there, and he waves at you kind of happily. He approaches through the graveyard. He's very respectful, very much goes around the outside, so he's not stepping on anybody's graves. And he approaches and he says, "Oh yeah, John Allen, huh?"
So, not really directly underneath, but right over here, and he'll point to a spot that's like 3 feet away.
Uh-huh.
There's another source of this necrotic magic. I didn't want to just start digging, as it's a cemetery, and that would be incredibly,
Little
problematic.
cliche, yeah, a little taboo here. Yeah, I appreciate that. Let me go grab a shovel. I'll be right back. And he walks over, and by the front, you see they've got a, shovel stuck in the ground. He pulls it out, goes back and hands it to you. It says, "It's fine. I'm here. Go ahead. Whatever you need to do, it's fine."
Zarius will poke around looking for a bone.
Okay. Yeah, you dig down. The first shovelful, there's nothing, and except that rotted kind of moldy soil. The second shovelful, you feel it through the shovel, just the thunk. And as you pull back, yeah, this white bone protrudes from the blackened soil.
Well, there it is. I don't really know. The magic on it gets weaker the further it is from the dirt source. We could probably just go feed it to the pigs if we wanted. That'll take care of one of them. I don't know how many there are.
We've just been burning them.
Bones.
Everything, yeah.
I mean, if that works for you, I don't really know what to do with it, to be honest.
Well, I know
just know
McLennan's
that-
trying to get a prize pig, and when his chicken's gone, he might need it. So, if you feel like feeding it to him, that's on you. Or we can just burn it. I don't know anything about magic, so...
You can burn the soil. I'm not really sure how much it'll do. Taking this bone away should suffice in stopping the rat.
We better
Or
burn it just in
whatever.
case. He pulls out a flask
Sure.
from his pocket and dumps it out. And it smells like whiskey. He just strikes a match, drops it in there, and it just... This nice flame there. And it burns out, and, you get a nice little smoldering pile there.
Say, you wouldn't happen to have a stick with a hole? Kidding.
Well, that takes care of that, right? As long as you all can dispose of that bone or take it out of here or whatever it is you need to do.
Sure. I don't
Unfortunately,
you can see it, right? Is anything still giving off that energy?
The bone still is, definitely.
the bone is. The ground seems to be scorched, but there's still bits and pieces of it.
But the energy in the bone gets weaker the further away it is from the ground?
I don't
Here,
know.
let's try this. And Kanan's gonna grab the bone and like break it as good as she can.
I would assume it's still not, because the one in the pig. Okay.
So it's snapped. Yeah, it's still it's weakened a little bit, but it's still glowing.
That was frightening, Kanan. It has weakened a little bit, but it's still there.
Oh, well, I'll give you one of these.
Thank you. Well, and Xeris will take a couple steps away from the scorched pit of earth. And is it the same as the other one where it kind of gets weaker as it gets further away?
Yeah, the further away you get, it gets weaker.
Xeris would like to walk over towards the other one that they had found that was like under the willow tree and see if it gets stronger when he gets closer to that.
Yeah,
like, is it a...
As you approach it, you see the energy fade as you reach the middle, and as you approach the other site, it glows a little brighter. But it's not much. It's like it feels different.
It feels, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, like tuning forks, if you clang tuning forks together and they're just dissonant enough, they're just off enough, it's like that feeling.
Well, it certainly gets weaker as it gets further away from its source. Do you have, Francisco, do you have anyone in the village who's able to use detect magic or something of the sort?
Friend, I don't even know what that means.
Do you have any magicians?
Well, Bill's kid's gotten pretty good with card tricks.
Okay.
Bill!
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Well.
Well, I mean, I sure would like to stay and help.
Kanan, I'm not sure there's much more we can do aside from having me walk the entirety of the city and point out where these spots are.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm not sure that would be enough.
Why not have the guy who's extorting the city do it? If he's gonna extort the city, at least make him work for it. I'm just saying. And we can just leave. We found out what's going on.
Right. But maybe they don't have to be extorted.
Well, tell that to the exterminator from 2Mage10.
Exterminator from 2Mage10.
If you guys, maybe we can go around and mark all of these. You said the fire seemed to get rid of it, Sirius?
Not entirely, not the bone. And I don't know if it's the good dirt or the bone that makes it I don't know how it works. I just know there's magic on both of them. It could be
maybe we mark all the places, they find all the bones, and I don't know, feed them to the pigs.
Matt, how big is the city?
The little town itself is not huge, but the surrounding fields are, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of acres.
Yeah.
I'm picturing us going around with this little metal detector.
I mean,
like,
it's like it is to be fair. It's like a 30-foot radius sphere around Xerius, but
Still, that would take so long.
I would also like to point out that if we do that, Mr. Exterminator is going to get here, get paid, and then leave. Or if we don't do that, he can come here, do the work, and then get paid and leave.
Right.
Make him work for it. If he's going to, charge them ridiculously, make him do the work.
Is Francisco listening to this?
Yeah, he's just standing there watching you guys talk.
Maybe the price isn't worth it if you guys can manage to find all of these spots. I mean, they all look really moldy and whatnot. So you...
Well, that's certainly what
Find
I
as
intend to
many?
do. I intend to sniff these out. I got a couple of dogs at my house. They're my guys, and we're gonna go. We'll find them out, as many as we can, and dig them up and just burn them, just like that. That seemed to work so far. I think that's what I'm gonna keep doing. And if I can, I'd like to avoid paying this guy, because I think it's too much.
You feed the bones to the pigs too.
That seems to work. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind.
They seem to enjoy them.
Well, they'll eat.
I wish
Yeah,
I wish we could do more for you. And I mean, I told McClendon, but these bones are bones of kids.
You.
Bones of children.
Why?
Yes. Well, I
Whoever's
mean,
doing this, we're gonna string them up outside of town.
good. Well, you can't just let this go unknown. We can't just leave not telling the town that they have someone, I don't know, killing kids or digging up the grave of kids to
Do you
set
know
rats on them.
whose kid?
I don't know.
Well, that's too bad. It's a real tragedy.
Yes.
I know Anira got a good look at it. The bones, I mean.
I can't tell who it belonged to.
If I ask the DM nicely, I might still have that bone on me.
Oh, the one that you got from over there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you still have that one.
It did look aged, maybe 10, 20 years.
My bag of holding, I guess, and I certainly can't recognize a person by the bone, but I don't know, we're weird, you might be weird too, maybe you can. And I'll hold it out to Francisco.
He doesn't take it. He says, well, I say you all might know because you can, see magic and all of that. I'm just a guy.
Oh, I don't think we have that kind of advanced magic. I mean, maybe when I train enough, I can try to do that. But that's years ahead in my ability of magic.
Well, thanks for all your help so far. Really, it means a lot. It's going to give me a lot of ammunition to say we don't necessarily need that guy's help. We can take care of our problem ourselves.
Yeah.
Good. And I hope it goes good for you. And I know, was it Zarius who talked to someone about setting up a guard?
Yeah. A rat watch.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna talk to Greg and see if he can become a night watch for us. I
Yeah,
hate to do it because our
someone's doing
town's
this, it
so
might
safe,
be-
but
Zarius is going to take the bone that he has and pocket it.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's too bad that our town has come to this, but I guess times change.
Truly is a wonderful town, and it can still be safe and wonderful. It just, outsiders aren't always so kind.
I'll try to remember that going forward. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have to get going.
Yeah, well, I wish you good travels. Where are you headed to next?
Noriel?
Noriel. Oh, it's a little bit of a rich town, but little snooty. They might look down their nose at you, but
You've had that before.
yeah, I imagine if you travel it anywhere, you have in these parts. So, good luck traveling through. I know there's some rough terrain up there, but I think you'll do fine. You all look plenty capable.
You want to see a magic trick? You can teach Billy's kid this one.
Sure.
I'll pull my sword out of the air and then walk out of the graveyard. I leave.
That's quite the
Without
trick.
another word. I just walk away.
All right.
You encouraging this kid
about it, I can deal with fetch.
Yeah. And I guess we start walking towards Noriel.
All right.
Just leave.
Sounds great. You head out. Okay. So, you venture out of Halistan, leaving behind the quaint, idyllic town. Hopefully better than you found it. You believe better than you found it. Go ahead.
So, after you said it's going to be like a couple days travel.
Yeah.
After the first night, Zarius was the reason he took the bonus, he wants to prepare legend lore.
Okay.
Which is a 5th level spell that he didn't have prepared the previous day.
Okay.
And he would like to cast that on the bone.
I don't have enough ivory.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't check the components. So he probably hasn't bought ivory, so never mind.
Yeah.
Legend lore is
A
expensive.
bunch of
Yeah,
incense too.
4 ivory worth at least 50 gold piece each and incense, yeah. So
If only you knew a very
He's gonna-
powerful wizard who had a bunch of ivory.
we asked if I could buy stuff from him. I think.
I don't think you asked for ivory in it.
That's true. I think I was asking for diamonds. Anyway,
Next
maybe he'll buy some in Noriel.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Don't say it like that, Matt.
Okay, so you're venturing out across this vast expanse of rough desert. It's not horrible travel. You continue on. Oh, let me change the music. I got music. Good. There we go. Okay, so you continue on through what has become a vast expanse of desert. Tufts of sagebrush and cheatgrass crop up around dried trees and clusters of rock, and the earth underfoot is brittle and crumbling. The sun beats down overhead, and the heat is immense. The distant chirps of ground birds and the skitter of lizards and snakes reaches your ears, reminding you that even in this barren-looking place, life is vibrant and full. The rolling hills have mostly leveled out, leaving wide swaths of open valley that, were the rains different, could produce miles and miles of good crops. As you walk, you find yourselves drifting towards a well-defined path of convenience, apparently traveled somewhat regularly, since the path is worn free of plant life. While not an official or paved road, it's nice to follow something other than the map for a while, and it seems to be heading in the same direction you were, toward Noriel. This is over the course of several days, right? We're not going to stop every night, unless there's stuff you want to talk about while we're traveling. I don't want to interrupt anybody. Okay.
At some point, Harriet just wants to message Jen real quick.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Oh boy, I wrote this down, I think. Not that big or anything. But she's gonna message her and be like, hello, love. We're alive. Our mutual friend isn't. You know, it's been a year since we, I've got a gift for you next time. That's pretty much it. That's all she got.
A few moments pass, and you hear that familiar crash of waves always kind of following Jen around. And you hear Harriet, it's great to hear from you. Always a pleasure. I can't believe a year has already come and gone. You should see what I've got for you. I can't wait to tell you. I got you a whole ship. And the message cuts.
Harriet, visibly reacts to that one. She's like, guys.
What?
Are you okay, Harriet?
Did you step on something?
I'm fine. Jen's just a mad woman. That's all.
We know.
How
She just
so?
told me she has a ship for us.
So,
Well, for me, but
Why would she get one for us?
I don't know. It could have been a joke. I don't know.
Where
I got
is
her
she?
just Nosmin's belt, but she got me a ship, I guess.
Why are we going to have a steep? Have a boat.
maybe you should have Jen fly it there.
Fly it?
I mean, the other one flew. Didn't it? Like into Nos's arena?
You have a point. Never mind. I just.
Can you tell her to meet us there? I want to.
I mean, she can track this thing, so if she wants to meet us there.
I mean,
I already have. I ran out of words for the day. I only have a certain amount.
Tomorrow. We're walking today's.
Level 1 verse is like, Golden!
Ship!
I don't know. What are you, like, supposed to get someone on, like, the, I don't know, year of knowing them personally?
Maybe
A
she's.
ship is a bit excessive.
Or maybe she's saying that you need to get her a ship.
Oh, is she? Maybe it was a hint.
I ship it.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just felt like saying it, to be honest.
Or his beats his head against whatever tree doesn't exist.
Varus just bends over, beats his head on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Never mind. We're walking somewhere important. I just thought I would get that call in before I forgot, and she thought I wasn't thinking about her. So.
You do have several days if you do want to talk more. It's up to you.
Next day, she'll be like, Varus needs to know about the ship.
And Zarius can always act as like an intermediary too. Like,
Jen responds and says, well, I haven't gotten it yet, but I found it. I plan on getting it. It took me a little longer than I thought. I got held up in port somewhere, but I had to blast my way out, guns blazing. I'll get it for you. Just wait.
Varus, I'm pretty sure she has her eyes on a legitimate ship with a crew on it. You know, she's probably gonna pirate it.
Well, of course. I'm.
So,
I know this.
at some point, there'll be a ship.
I have an idea. I'm gonna cast Disguise Self on myself and look like a pirate. I have this big fucking just pirate hat, like with a feather sticking out of it, a whole coat that goes down to like my ankles, and I'll just like stand like real proud and be like, Harriet, how do I look? Do I look like a captain?
Looking great, Bert.
Captain Bert.
Swashbuckler Bert. Is that how that goes?
We'll work. We'll work.
We've
it
got
out.
time to
We'll
workshop
figure it
it.
out. Yes. This is good. I like this. Forrest goes to sleep happy that night.
Okay. All right. So you all have crossed over the main road going from New Calamon to Two Mage Turn, and the rest of the main road leading away. And it's a very nice road. I mean, it's as far as roads go, it's pretty sweet. It's nice and like paved and well kept, in spite of it being kind of out in the middle of nowhere. You cross over it perpendicularly, but you don't see anyone on the road. So you continue on. After miles of traveling, you see the wide valley that you've been walking through begin to narrow somewhat, and sharp, rocky cliffs begin to rise up on either side, maybe 200 or so feet tall. The path you're walking continues through the midst of this canyon, and it narrows to about 20 feet wide at its shortest, which is a fair distance off at this point. Short, thinly branched trees have taken refuge from the beating sun and sprung up in the shade provided by this rocky passage, and you even see your first bright green leaves in several days. All around you are piles of rocks gathered on either side of the path, and something else, something that looks suspiciously like a perception check for two of you.
I gotcha.
What do my tiefling eyes hear? They
19 and 14. Okay, so good. Great. Okay, so you take a closer look at the shaded area you find yourselves in and see the numerous piles of rocks as before, but something strikes your vision, Zarius. You notice sticking out from underneath one of the piles of rock what looks like a bizarre skull with an elongated nose, protruding teeth, and brain cavity that has been smashed in. The rest of the skeleton, if it's present, is buried under the stones. You're welcome to take a closer look at the skull if everyone is welcome to take a closer look if Zarius points it out to you. Kanan, you did not notice
That's
this.
odd. Look over there. Never seen a creature like that before.
You trying to make me look, Zarius?
No, there's a weird skull thing. No, I promise. Here, look, and I'll walk over and point at it.
Okay. Anyone who would like to can make a nature or a medicine check, your choice.
I will make a nature.
I am okay at this.
Open my character.
Nope.
You never
He's been
say
grossed out the
anything
past few
before a
days,
roll.
you know?
Darius is still thinking about the other bones he found and how bad they smelled.
You never say anything before a roll. I've learned that.
Okay, so medicine. Okay, great. Kanan, you and I both come to the same conclusion. It looks like a horse skull. It's just is a horse. Have you ever seen a horse skull? They're really weird looking. So it looks like a horse skull.
Yeah, I know.
They're funny.
You also notice, as you guys are kind of combing this area and looking around, you notice a number of clearly constructed wooden pieces of something. You're not quite sure. That appear to be broken and scattered about, some under the rocks and some not. You don't notice any signs of combat or battle in this area. Just these big piles of rocks scattered around. What would you like to do?
We're just like out in the middle of nowhere, right? Like this is off the path.
No, you're on the path. The path is just kind of descended down in the midst of this big canyon that's sprung up.
Okay.
So you're maybe like 100 feet inside of the mouth of this canyon, but it'd take you a long way and a lot of climbing to get up and out back the other way. It's a big like route off the side.
Well, I struck this as peculiar, or this strikes me as peculiar, however that saying goes.
This is weird.
One of those was right.
Kanan's gonna look around under the rocks and everything, see if she can get any sort of sense of what this is and what happened.
Zarius
Okay.
wants to go poke around on those wooden things.
All right. So you dig around a little bit through the rocks, and you see you have to proceed a little further down. It's just like splinters and bits of small pieces around. So if you would like to, you can proceed a little further down to get a better feel for what's going on. Otherwise, most of these rocks are too heavy for you to move and dig around it on your own. Okay.
Yeah.
So you move further
Do
down the pathway, and the cliff walls close in just a little further and a little further at a time. Wind occasionally cuts through the canyon and blows the thin branches of the trees and their leaves, tugging at your clothing. And Zarius, Kanan, and Anira, you three catch a scent like rotting meat in the air, and then the wind stops. You also notice that the pieces of wood have gotten a little larger as you've progressed in, and it's starting to look like structural support for like a wagon or something like that. As you've progressed forward a little more, you notice that the birds, insects, and other life has quieted altogether. All you hear are your own footsteps against the rocky soil. What would you like to do?
Just random pieces of carts and horse skulls.
Do you think maybe they were ambushed?
Or, I mean, it's a lot of random carts falling apart in one spot. So it might not have been an ambush, but maybe there's like regular rock slides or something here. Might be something to be.
To be clear, these rocks that are like the piles of rocks are huge. I mean, there's no way that any one of you could lift them on your own. Even all 5 of you trying to lift would have a tough time tilting one over. They're big rocks.
Oh.
So that's the majority of them are huge. There are some smaller ones as well, but the majority of them are just these massive, huge stones.
And is it like there's, are we like down in a canyon and there's like a possibility of, explaining it to oneself that they rolled down, or is it like, no, these were placed there?
No, they definitely, it's definitely possible that they were like traveling along the canyon edge and it collapsed down. It's a possibility. Or that they were traveling along the bottom and the rock wall just collapsed out and fell on top of them. Those are both very reasonable possibilities.
Because George's brain goes, because he's playing D&D, goes, monster threw massive rocks at someone. But I don't think Xarius would think that. He'd probably be like, okay, well, we're in a canyon and, something fell.
Yeah. And you take a look up at the cliffside, and it seems like it's all this kind of like reddish rock. And it does look like it could just peel off and fall. There's definitely a possibility. So definitely wouldn't be an unreasonable conclusion to come to.
Yeah.
But if you would like to know more, you'd have to proceed further into the canyon to find out more information.
See, that's what makes me think giant thing throw big rock.
Sisyphus?
I mean, it looks like it. Maybe the rocks don't look too terribly stable up there. You might just stay away from the edges and keep your ears open.
All right.
Proceeding forward?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Like on edge, though, for rocks or whatever it may be.
Sword drawn.
You push forward and the canyon has drawn to its most narrow. Around your feet you notice more broken wood, bits and pieces of bone, and tatters of cloth pinned under rocks and torn to shreds. As you reach that midpoint, walls closing in on you, Xarius, you hear the clatter of some pebbles falling from higher up on the cliffside. So I gotta change our environment.
Meteor shower.
Some pebbles falling from higher up on the cliff and turn just in time to see an impossibly large humanoid figure leaping out from a cave, wielding a metal bar the size of a ship's mast in his hand. Clothed in tattered rags, land only a few feet from you, shaking the ground around and sending more rocks tumbling from the cliffside down towards you. Dust clouds erupt under his humongous bare feet and billow outwards, and he lets out a terrifying shout. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw to avoid the rocks falling from the cliff overhead.
Rocks fall, the party dies.
And Inira also make an athletics check.
You said a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw for everyone, and then Inira additionally make a athletics check. Okay, some okay rolls here. All right. Xarius, Varus, and that's it. Xarius and Varus, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as these rocks kind of fall from the, it's like 40, 50 feet up above you and slam into you. They don't pin you down or anything. But you definitely feel the blunt force impact of these things kind of push you forward. You almost lose your bearings. Everyone go ahead and roll initiative, and I'll put us on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Wait till we're on the map to roll initiative. Here we are. Initiate. Initiate crying.
We are not rolling now, George. That's twice now. I've rolled a 3 and you've rolled a 2. Twice in a row.
Twice in a
Have
row.
we taken a long rest since talking to the pigs, or was that all one day?
No, you've traveled several days.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So feel free to move yourselves up. I'll just move you up, actually, because you would be right about here as this happens.
Oh, Canaan's day.
Getting ready to go.
Okay.
It's time.
Dinner time.
First would have been
Dinner time.
It's time to dinner.
It's time to dine.
Die.
Dine.
Prepare to dine. Guys, look, I can line up with Xarius, and then I'm like that. No,
I love your Xarius cosplay. Put horns on the top of your
on
your headphones.
Yeah. Like you've seen those headphones, like the cat ears.
Yeah, do horns,
but
like
with
the
the horns. There you
Do
go.
it.
I can just
Oh, that's a big.
Okay, so
he a big old boy.
Hello, sir.
yeah, so All right, you all marked off that damage. Here we go. We're gonna switch to
Well, he
battle
doesn't
screens.
look very friendly.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
All right,
It's
and we need to
time.
change this to some combat music.
Yes.
Combat.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, so because he surprised you, even though you were waiting, he's still surprised. He gets a surprise round. The giant sweeps down, and that athletics check was for you to dodge. And as his hand sweeps down, he picks you up off the ground, and he clutches you in his hand very tightly. And most of the rest of you, his hand is huge, it just sweeps around. Most of the rest of you kind of dodge out of the way fairly early, avoiding, the need for a roll. But Anira, you are just a moment too slow, and you find yourself hit with a ton of bricks that is this creature's hand, and you're swept up into his palm, his huge fingers closing in on you and squeezing you tight. You take 22 points of bludgeoning damage as the hand crushes down on you. The rest of you look on in horror as Anira is swept up into the creature's gray-skinned hand. Black, sunken eyes look down toward you, and the creature rises near its full height, at least 30 feet tall, rearing back to slam the metal rod downward to crush you. Okay.
That's a big boy.
Huge.
Chonky.
He's the most rotund.
So, Anira, you are over here, and you are grappled. Actually, restrained, I'm sorry. We'll put I don't know what, this thingy for your symbol. Okay, the first one is an attack since the club is so big, it's at Zarius and Harriet. It's a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
That's 24 points of bludgeoning damage at the two of you. So he swings down and just smooshes both of you, knocking you both prone.
Honk.
12 each, right?
Bop it.
Oh, beats, right?
The next one, he swings, tries to go wide, trying to take out Varus and Kanan with a horizontal swing. He swings with a 14. Okay, which I didn't think hits. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Also, Anira, make a charisma saving throw.
What?
18. Okay. Also, make a constitution saving throw.
What?
Save.
What is happening to Anira?
Anira, you feel your fingertips and your toes begin to harden, and you feel this coolness proceed up your arms and legs, and in a moment, you've gone from being flesh and bone to solid stone. As the giant leans back, he slams his hand against his body, and you all see Anira's stony body dangling from his shoulder, stuck.
I thought it just crushed her.
And I rip. Gone.
So,
Oh my gosh.
Next up is Kanan. What would you like to do?
Yell at this guy. Just be like, what the hell did you do to my friend there? And she's gonna run up on this rock here onto his shoulders.
You cannot jump that high.
Oh, I cannot? Okay.
It's 30 feet tall.
Onto him.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have a cool idea for unarmed strikes then. Okay. But she'll get on this rock and stab him with the dagger.
Okay. So you run up and
Twice.
leap at him, trying to stab him twice with the dagger.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, 25 hits for sure, and the 13 does not.
Okay, and then spend a key point to flurry of blows.
Okay.
And as I do that, can I be climbing up him with my claws?
Sure, I'd say that. Yeah, if you want to combine it with your movement, sure.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
You try, and you're like ready to pounce on this thing, and you get your claws out, and you go to sink him in to where it should feel like flesh, and his body is just stone. And your claws scrape down, and you're unable to find purchase, and you end up falling back prone, hit the rock that you leapt off of, and fall to the ground on the side. So you'll start the next round prone. I'd say that used about 20-25 feet of your movement. If you wanted to stand back up, you could, but...
I think I'll stand, and that's it.
You stand back up, you're right at his feet. So, just so you know.
Back up behind the rock there.
You have no movement left, unless you're using your feline agility.
With the,
Oh, it's only 10 feet. So you have 15 feet left.
It's
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
so you have 15
5
feet left.
Feet.
Oh, 20 feet
Yeah,
then. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
It's because of my monk class.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just forgot it's under one of these things, and I was looking for it.
Okay. Anything else you want to do for your turn? I think you're tapped out.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Next up is the giant. He's gonna yell in a really sort of guttural language. Just. Do any of you speak giant?
Don't think so.
No. Okay. And he will swing again with his club once, and then he's going to try to stomp Kanan, leaping forward with his other foot. So the
Is he
first
swinging
one,
out with the club?
the club, he's going for Varus because he missed Varus last time. So that's a 24 to hit. It's
Yeah.
15 points of bludgeoning damage as this big, huge metal beam just slams down, crushing you to the ground, knocking you prone.
Okay, I'll use my reaction to parry that, and you said 15
Yeah,
damage?
15.
So I take 2.
Okay. Yeah, you're still knocked prone,
Yeah.
but you manage to deflect most of the blast. It just happens to knock you back. The second attack is a stomp towards you, Kanan, and it's a 27 to hit. She's rolling great, and that's 15 points of bludgeoning damage. His foot just comes down on top of you, smushing you to the ground, knocking you prone.
Okie dokie.
He then pulls back, and he holds the giant club that he's wielding ready in like a defensive posture. Okay.
Just a monk stone giant.
Next up, you hear this immense roar from behind. Wait, I think I have it.
Harriet, shush.
Cryovane?
Not that big.
Oh.
That one.
Okay.
And this huge cave bear leaps down from the perch that the giant dropped out of and rushes forward up to the side here and goes to maul at you, Kanan.
Uh-oh.
So he's a ranger.
Ranger monk
This
stone
first one's an
giant.
18 to hit.
Yeah.
18 hits? Okay, so you take...
beats, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. No, if you... Yeah, no, that works. Yeah, that's how it works. I forgot how to play D&D. So yeah, the first one, he chomps down with his massive claw, or massive jaw, and you take 7 points of piercing. The next one is a 25 to hit. I'm rolling really well. And he swipes past you with his huge paw, and you take 9 points of slashing damage.
Okie dokie.
That is it. And Ira, you are petrified. So you stuck.
Cool.
Sorry. Varus, you're up next.
That's me. Okay, so this is where they are. They're like inside of each other, right?
No, I mean, the giant is
like
huge,
in terms
so...
of the square, like
Yeah,
that's
so the
where they
bear is
are.
rushed into the side here. This giant, I guess technically would be like right here. So he's just
Okay.
standing off to the side.
But they're like close to each other.
They're close, yeah.
Okay. Then I will do. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire,
Okay,
which is a 20-foot cube, and we'll make it this.
cool. You got
So
it.
both the giant and the cave bear have to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. And what's the spell save
The
DC?
DC is 18.
18. Okay. The giant saves. The bear fails.
Okay. Then I'm concentrating, and the bear is glowing this like bright kind of violet, and any attack rolls against it are at advantage.
Okay.
For the next minute or until my concentration goes up.
And that one has a verbal component, right?
Yes.
Just making sure. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I just speak out. I think it's the Elvish word for light is what I have written down. But anyway.
Oh, you speaking Elvish or are you speaking Common?
Elvish.
Elvish.
For when Varus casts his spells, the words are in Elvish.
That's what I thought, but I was just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my action surge because I'm also a fighter, and I'm going to scoop my boot up kind of behind him and swing twice with the Heart Striker because that's what I do.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack rolls.
We're not going to... Well, we'll see. We'll do the first one, and then how does that go? And we'll just do both of them. Fuck it.
Okay. You swing forward, and your rapier just glances off of his skin, just hard as stone. The second one, you swing in again, and you manage to find a gap between two, like it's like these plates almost that go together, and you manage to puncture into it, dealing a good amount of damage. Nicely done. Okay, anything else you'd like to do?
No, that is it.
All right. Next up is Harriet.
Ugh. Harriet's gonna try something because I don't know if she would know things. So
Sure.
She's gonna look at the giant lad and try and cast suggestion
Okay.
on it. She's just speaking in common.
Okay.
And she's just gonna say, I think you should attack that bear right there and not us.
Okay.
And that's it. And she's gonna have her gun pointed at the bear because she has no idea if like she can be understood or not by this thing.
Okay.
But she's trying, you know.
Yeah. Will you put the text for suggestion in the chat?
Yeah, let me send that.
I just can't remember the
I don't
ins
do
and
it that
outs of it.
often. It's okay. I don't do it that often, so. Oh, sorry. Did that send it?
Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay. You cast the spell out, and you see the moment of recognition on the creature's head, but the magic has no effect on it whatsoever.
Okay.
But you see that he recognizes what you're saying. Is that moment of acknowledgement. Zarius, you're up next. What would you like to do?
Okay.
Unless you had anything else, Harriet, I'm sorry.
No, she just has the rest of her weapons drawn, pointed at this bear, basically.
Okay. Got it, cool. Okay. Zarius, you're up next.
Zarius looks at both of these dudes and thinks. He's going to cast... he'll go ahead and cast Spirit Guardians at 4th level.
Okay.
Submit. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great D8. But let me go ahead and put his little spear on. Save. And he's gonna stand up using half his movement. And he's gonna assume that he can still be hit by that giant from there because that's where he hit him from last time. So he's just gonna step over a little bit, like over there.
Okay.
Maybe. He's not trying to leave his combat range. He's just kind of trying to get out of the middle of this walkway.
Yeah, you're good.
And yeah, that's what he's gonna do for now.
All right, sounds great. Next up is Kanan. What would you like to do?
Kanan is going to hack a bit at this bear and then try to back off.
Okay.
You have advantage.
You do have advantage.
Woohoo!
From Fairy Fire. Nice, yeah, that hits. 29 for sure hits.
Oh.
Nice. The second one does not hit, unfortunately.
Alright, and then I'm gonna spend a key point to Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
Do I still have advantage?
You do.
Versus.
35.
Okay, yeah, that hits. Nice, that hits too. Solid damage
I'm
dealt.
gonna
The bear's looking hurt.
back off, and I get the disengage for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Drunken.
Anything else you want to do for your turn?
No, that's it.
Okay. Next up is the giant. On seeing Kanan, you swipe at the bear with the dagger, and hearing Harriet call out in common, the giant says, "Why are you invading my home?" His common is very, rough. It's definitely not his first language. He says, "Tiny humans chased me from home on mountain and forest. You," points to you, Kanan, "have his weapon. You are like him." He raises his mast to smash. You have a moment to react. What would you like to do?
Oh, no. And she'll drop the dagger.
He
And be
kind
like,
of
I killed this guy.
he kind of hesitates to smash. And he says, "You are not like him, but you attack me and my bear."
Well, you guys attacked us as well.
Make a persuasion check.
Emily.
He looks skeptically and says, "People nearby are rich and cruel. I attack them because they tried to kill me. They worked for Dagger Man. But you are not like him."
Did they? They worked for Kane.
Some. How are you different? And he raises the thing again to smash.
I killed Kane, and minor illusion, a little short, still of me stabbing him through his chin.
He leans way down to see you. And his head is just enormous. I mean, he could easily put you in his mouth and crunch you if he wanted to, but he looks down, and he squints at it. No, Naira, you're still stuck to him. You're like stone stuck to stone, like cement. And yeah, Kanan, you see Naira just sort of dangling off of his shoulder as he leans down, and he leans back. "You killed him. I am sorry." And he goes and pulls Naira off of his shoulder and lowers her down in his hand. And Naira, you feel yourself become whole again, unpetrified, standing in this massive creature's hand. We're out of combat.
Can I?
Unless you all are still trying to kill him.
No, no.
Okay.
May I help your bear real quick?
Yes, he is hurt.
Here. I'll be like, can I touch his nose?
And the bear kind of snarls at you and looks up at him, and he nods, and the bear kind of puts his head down in front of you.
And I'll cast Cure Wounds on the bear.
Okay. The bear gets 6 hit points. Aw.
That's almost one of your punches.
I'll cast it again.
Oh no! I made Abby feel guilty. Oh no!
Another 6. Nice. Okay. All right. Well.
A bad moment to mention that the giant would have taken damage from Spirit Guardians in the start of this turn.
Oh yeah. What was it? How much was it?
Could Zarius just have dropped that?
If you were gonna drop it in combat, then yeah. But otherwise, no. It's gonna hang on.
No, yeah. So.
Oh my god.
They're just like having this conversation
I'll just
while their legs are
there you go.
ripped apart.
Zarius would have dropped it as soon as the combat ended, but
Yeah. But that last one got in.
whoops.
He probably has
No
like
big deal.
600.
No, he probably has like
Just a
3,000
billion
hit points.
Yeah.
I was just,
But
I was like,
I think that is where we're gonna call it tonight. You stand in suspense with this giant. But yeah, so that's where we'll call it.
Sweet.
That was great.
That was
That was a session.
Yeah.
It was a lot of
Whole
fun
session.
playing
Oh my
pigs.
So,
Thank you for everyone watching us. We had a great time
So
playing.
much.
I appreciate all my
Thank you.
players being here, having a great time, asking pigs questions and all of that. So
only
really
the most
fun.
important stuff.
Why we play D&D.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it here. So thanks everyone again, and have a good night.
Good night.
Night, guys.